or for the United States to walk away from this process. We've engaged in an extraordinary amount of diplomacy.
One aspect of the plan was immediately rejected by Ukraine's president. Linda Kenyon has more from the White House.
The president, referring to reports that Ukraine will not legally recognize the occupation of Crimea, says, quote, that's very harmful to peace negotiations with Russia. In a post on Truth Social, the president added, quote, it's inflammatory statements like Zelensky's that makes it so difficult to settle this war.
Investors on Wall Street got some good news today from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
He mentioned over 100 countries have come to the table with either a willingness to negotiate or a proposal. We haven't seen concrete evidence of what those trade deals would look like, but that number does keep growing.
Bessent has worked to calm economic turmoil as negotiations continue over the president's tariffs. In Rome, the wait to view the Pope's body is hours long, but those gathered there are grateful.
They taught us all how to be Christians and to be human, and that's what we are so happy about. So we'll follow him. And we want Pope Francis II now.
The funeral will take place on Saturday. The nation's birth rate is still near a record low. Correspondent Michael Wallace has that.
The CDC says births increased by just 1% last year from 2023's record low.
It's a combination of the economy and also young people wanting to wait until they get their lives in order before having kids.
Dr. William Fry, a demographer at the Brookings Institution, says there will be fewer younger workers to support the aging population. President Trump has suggested a $5,000 baby bonus, but Fry says we need a child tax credit like we had during the pandemic,
where we guaranteed families amount of money each year.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A wildfire in Ocean County, New Jersey continues to burn. Evacuation orders for thousands of people have been lifted, but the fire's just 30% contained and thousands of acres have burned. Forest Fire Service Chief Bill Donnelly.
As we continue to get this under full control, the expectation is that that number of acres will grow and grow in a place that is unpopulated.
There's no rain in the forecast until later this week. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 417 points. This is CBS News.
Steel walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
The state gas tax is poised to increase. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Seattle, the crash has been cleared from I-5 near I-90. Travel time Federal Way to Seattle is back down to 23 minutes. Earlier problems have you a little slow on I-405. Travel time Renton to Bellevue 24 minutes. That's about 10 longer than typical. And construction has you backed up on State Route 18 from the Tiger Mountain Summit to I-90. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales Event has been extended through April 27th. America's Builder, drhorton.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Get ready to pay more at the pump. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson reports state lawmakers are poised to raise the gas tax.
Filling up at the pump, it's killing it, honestly, is more expensive in Washington, the third highest gas tax in the nation.
About $2 more expensive than where I came from.
Now lawmakers considering an increase by 6 cents this summer and by 2% every year after. Does your profit or revenue increase 2% a year?
Absolutely not.
WashDOT says hundreds of bridges are in poor condition and highways are deteriorating. The bill would generate more than $3 billion over 6 years for those construction projects.
And state lawmakers in the House have approved new taxes as they scramble to fill a budget gap. KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich with more on that.
Expanding a tax on large businesses, especially big tech, a new tax paid by Tesla, and allowing schools to pass larger levies. Those were the big three that passed the House early Tuesday, all three now being fast-tracked by the Senate, some with no public hearings in order to be part of a balanced budget that must be submitted to the governor by Sunday at midnight. Or the governor can call for overtime, a special session, which on Saturday he said he may do to satisfy his budget requirements.
The governor earlier criticized lawmakers for relying too heavily on tax hikes to balance the budget. A twist in the case of a Fox Island homicide. 29-year-old Lars Nelson is accused of killing his girlfriend. KIRO 7 TV obtained court documents that show the shooting may have been planned in advance, with the victim asking Nelson to take her life. Nelson pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder. Bail set it to $750,000. Family friends of a Tacoma teen shot and killed over the weekend have gathered for a vigil. 17-year-old Vernon Lockett was a junior and football player at Mount Tahoma High School. Friends tell KIRO 7 TV.
All he did was look out for people.
The shooting happened Sunday night near East 41st Street, the same area where a teen was shot and killed 2 weeks ago. No arrests in either case. Investigators are working to determine what sparked a fire in South Seattle last night. Seattle Fire's David Quirpo tells KIRO 7 TV.
We were able to make contact with the homeowner during the incident. They were able to report there were no other people that were inside.
Nearby homes were evacuated as a precaution as crews got the fire under control. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome to the show. I'm Jake Skorheim, your host, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Hey, brother.
Father of the bride, Spike O'Neill.
Buddy. We're like 72 hours now. We're counting down. Yeah.
It's getting close. Yeah. You're looking good. You're feeling
good.
good.
Yeah. Everything's falling into place. Planning.
That's what planning does.
Yeah, it does.
We're going to talk. I thought it'd be fun, maybe next segment, we can dive into that a little bit, talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, you bet.
Because the wedding day, as anybody who's been married understands, you have your plan. It's like, what did Tyson say? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the nose.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You just don't know what it's going to be like.
Right.
And I remember my experience on my wedding day. I know you remember yours.
So sure.
We can talk about wedding day experiences, things that hopefully will help your daughter and her soon-to-be husband as they
that'd be great.
Head into their life together in the big day.
My greatest fear is that it will go by so fast, and it'll be over.
Just like that.
That's a very privileged and optimistic way to look at this. Is that my worst fear is that it'll happen too fast. But
it's likely to come true. Your worst fear. I think it will happen too fast. But we'll talk. That's one of the things. Like time barrier just breaks down on a wedding day, which we'll talk all about next segment. So if you guys have any stories of your own or wedding advice
from fathers of the bride, maybe
fathers of the bride.
What's the one thing you wish you'd known ahead of time that you could help me?
A bride or a groom who wants to share a story about their life and their wedding day, feel free to send us a text, 888-973-5476. You can also submit those on the YouTube page, the Jake and Spike live YouTube page, which is a ton of fun, and we really love, and we hope you do too. All right, we got a lot to get into. I feel spicy about today's show. We have a lot of great stuff.
We really do.
A lot of great stuff. Brock Heward is going to join us later in the show. That's going to be a blast. Anytime Brock's in town, I just love having him on. He's just a great dude.
Excellent.
So we're going to get him on. We're going to talk to, and this is going to be really fun. At what time is this, Laura? Is this 1:30?
1:30, yeah.
1:30. You watch the Goonies? You know the Goonies? Everybody knows the Goonies.
If you haven't, shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you if you don't know the Goonies. But, wait a minute. Laura, have you seen the Goonies?
No, I have
she hasn't.
not seen the Goonies.
Is there any way that between now and 1:30 you can watch the Goonies? I think you actually could just get it in. If you start it right now.
And watch it on like 2 times speed.
Yes. Watch it as fast as you can. So somebody bought the Goonies house to restore it to its original movie.
Oh, really?
Movie
that's
like
wonderful.
readiness.
Oh,
like they're going to recreate the 1980s Goonie house. Which
save it for the piece of iconic.
Yes.
What's that word? Yeah, it's legacy.
Just the love of the Goonies. Like super fans.
Yeah.
Have you been to it? Have you been to the Goonies house?
Of course I have, yeah.
So have I.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a story, you've got to walk around. You got to find the Goonies house.
Did you see the Fratelli's Jeep, the Wagoneer there? Full of bullet holes in the back tailgate? Outside of the bank? Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
No, the story has been riding that fame for a long time. But anyway, somebody bought the house, and they're going to have it completely restored.
Beautiful.
We're going to talk to the guy whose job it is to restore it to its former glory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's going to be on with us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What a cool gig.
Really cool job. He's an Emmy-winning interior designer for TV shows, and so he has taken on this Herculean task.
House was a bit of a. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, because I don't remember it being part of the Smithsonian. It's not nice. It's
Well,
kind of a couple of absent-minded parents who are never home, and the kids. I mean, from what I remember,
it lives in nostalgia, which is a very beautiful place
That's
to
the
live.
thing. You make it clean, or you make it right.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Can we? I got to get one thing off my chest, and then we'll get into all this stuff. There's like so many taxes.
Well, we're
Makes
here,
my
buddy.
head spin. My kids today. Tell me if this is bad parenting, or if this is extra. It's not good. The answer is no. It's not good parenting.
Well, let's hear it out anyway.
So one of my sons.
Okay.
I got a tummy ache, and but I think he's trying to get out of school. Is to be honest. And then one of my other sons, the older one, he starts seeing that his brother might get the day off, and so now he's like, I want to take school off too. I'm sick. He's clearly not sick. Absolutely not sick at all. Not sick. He's in 4th grade. And my son, who was pretending to be sick, he's in 1st grade. So they're both faking sick at this point. Now, it's debatable whether or not one of them actually does feel a little under the weather. Who can tell these things?
Sure.
Probably good parents know, but whatever. So my older son, though, my wife is like, you know what? He might need a mental health day to stay off. And so she's letting him stay home with his brother because his brother's not going to school. And as I was leaving the house, I'm like, this feels like kind of cheating here. I mean, it's like you and I would have called that skipping school.
Sure. Yeah, you bet.
This is a thing you can actually call in now. I actually called the school. I had to call them out. I said, hey, they're both out sick. And she goes, mental health? I said, yeah, I think so. And she goes, all right, we'll mark them down. This is a thing that kids are doing regularly.
Okay.
And is it creating soft kids? And the answer to that is yes.
Oh, buddy.
No, it is. Totally. Don't you think? Mental health? Because a kid doesn't want to go to elementary school?
Yeah. This is a hard one for me because I understand that, we were raised in a different era. I mean, I more so than you. Give me some vomit. Give me some diarrhea or you're going to school.
Yeah.
My old man wanted proof that my tummy
I want to see it.
Where's the bucket?
Put it in a cup.
Put up or shut up and go to school, right?
It's different now.
It's different nowadays.
It's different now.
And as is with a mental health day.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are dealing with stuff we never had to fathom dealing with. And I'm not saying that doesn't make them soft.
Yeah, they got it too good.
Well,
kids these days got it too good.
In a lot of ways, you're right. You're absolutely right. In a lot of ways. In a lot of other ways, kids are watching their parents struggle financially, struggle with whatever things. Kids are perceptive. They pick up on everything.
Oh, no, but that's not new. That's not new. People have always struggled financially.
Yeah, you're right.
For all of history.
Right. But would we have been better?
And people blew smoke in your face when you were a kid. When we were growing up.
Secondhand smoke was my meal of choice most days. Yeah, you bet.
My parents did. I want to say, just so my parents know, you did not blow smoke in my face. I'm not saying you did.
I was raised in the backseat of a hot-boxed Impala.
Nobody even thought of it.
Nobody thought about that.
My parents would send me with friends.
Were we better? Were we tougher because of that? Or am I?
Yes,
of course. No, we weren't.
Listen,
my point being this: would we
please make your point.
Would we have benefited from maybe a mental health day once in a while with school?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you could make an argument.
Opinions can't be wrong.
You could. Yes, they absolutely can be wrong. You could make an argument that yes, would it have been better if we? I mean, because it's like a little therapy session or something. Is therapy good for some people? Obviously, it works for some people. But is it a good idea for my kids to build up the expectation anytime life feels like it's hard? They have to take a day off.
Taking a day.
That's not a good thing.
Sorry, NASA.
You know what would have?
You'll either leave them up in the space station for another day. I've got a mental health day.
You can either have mental health now or you can have mental strength later. That's what I was thinking about my kids.
No, that's good. That's good.
If I'm giving in every time they feel like they want to stay home because it's tough. Elementary school's tough.
Not every time.
Elementary school's tough. And I love them, and I'm going to hug them.
Arkansas, Kentucky, who can tell? Who knows? I can't do it.
She's sending me pictures. She's like, oh, look how cute it is. The kids are all playing together. I'm like, yeah, but they should be learning. They should be in a school learning to read. And now they're just going to be these kids who can't read good.
So other stuff. So you got 3 into school, right?
I have 3 that should be in school.
Well, did they all stay home?
They all stay home.
Okay, so the third one got just a.
Well, yeah, no, he's grandfathered in. He's not going to. If his 2 older brothers are not going, he's not going to go. He's in preschool, which is it's pretend school anyway, so whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Don't need the crayon class.
Yeah.
That's a preschool.
He's actually healthier because he's not going to preschool. Because he's not getting any of those other sick germs or those little vomity kids. And he's not eating crayons all day.
Yeah. I think you might be right. I think you may have.
I feel like I just came up with this
on the side of softness.
You could be mentally healthy today or mentally strong tomorrow. And next time my kid wants to stay out, that's what I'm going to say.
You're faced with the harsh realities of life.
Or like your dad, I'm going to say, show me some vomit.
Show me something.
Show me.
Fill it. Fill the bucket.
Yeah. You got 5 minutes to fill that vomit,
or you're off
get on that bus.
The bus is coming in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Either that bucket's going to be full or your bus is going to be full.
Either you're going to vomit or you're going to put your pants on. You're going to get out of my house.
Soldier on.
God bless those kids. No, but they're having a nice day. They're having fun. So good for them. Nice mental health day. They're going to feel good.
You're going to go home and how was your mental health?
Yeah.
You're going to rub their faces.
You know who's not going to have mental health when I get home is my wife. She's been stuck in the house with 4 kids all day. That's not mentally healthy.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in. Thank you, my friend, for
You're
stepping
welcome.
up. I know you probably could have benefited from
I'm
mental health day
prioritizing my
today.
mental health. You think it's going to be healthy for me to be stuck in the house with them all day?
Probably not.
No way.
I know.
Not going to happen.
Isn't this a sanctuary?
Plus, you're off for the next 2 days. I don't want to miss the opportunity to see you before you're
thanks, buddy.
going off to the wedding celebrations. All right, can we get into this for a second? This is driving me crazy. There's all these new taxes coming out, and people are going to roll their eyes when you hear taxes, but I do feel like we need to focus on this for just a half second. Can we just look at this list?
Sure.
There's some new taxes coming out. Matt Markovich has a good story on mynorthwest.com. You can read all about it.
Mm-hmm.
People are talking about it. Go there and see it right now. It's going to drive you crazy. And if you can't read good because you had too many mental health days at home when you were a child, I will just read it to you.
Yeah, we'll help you through this together.
We'll help you through it. We can all be insane with anger together. I'm going to read you all these taxes.
Okay.
Spike, I like what we did yesterday. I just read you stuff and you tell me what you think of them.
Yeah.
Because you know how I think of them.
I know. And you know me. I never met a tax I didn't like. I'm a bleeding heart liberal. I think,
No, but that's not true. Because yesterday you said boo to all the taxes.
Even to me, this is nuts.
Too much. All right, I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to make 2 movie references in this little section here.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you 2 movies that I think they're doing to us right now. This is the real life experience of these 2 movies, but we'll get into that in just a second. Starting July 1st, 2025, gas tax jumps 6 cents per gallon. It's going to jump up from 49.4 cents to 55.4 cents per gallon every time you fill up. Who's that hurting the most? It's hurting the little guy, guy who hasn't made a ton of money.
Least afford.
The least of
Another
us.
hit to their budget.
No good.
Are we trying for number 1? I know we're number 3 in the country in gas prices. Are we shooting for number 1?
Oh, we can get there.
Is that the goal here?
We can do it.
We have a victory parade that nobody can afford to have gas to go down the street in?
That's what it feels like. Diesel, you're not off the hook. 6 cents total hike, 3 cents in 2025, another 3 cents in 2027. And sky's the limit, folks. You never know how much they're going to raise it. Beginning in 2026, most fuel taxes will automatically increase 2% per year due to inflation.
Let me ask you this. Is it going to automatically increase 2% if there's inflation? Or are they just assuming there's always going to be inflation and we're just going to have 2% a year?
Yeah, 2%
This
automatic
is a
increase.
That's a big fat nay.
That's a nay.
That's
a nay for you. Good.
Nay.
Here's what it feels like to me. I'm going to read you down this list of things, but just think of this reference as you listen, because this is what it feels like to me. It feels like when you're being squeezed in Goodfellas. Oh, if my audio was working, there it is.
But now the guy's got to come up with Paulie's money every week, no matter what. Business bad? You pay me. Oh, you had a fire? You pay me. Place got hit by lightning, huh? You pay me.
That's what it feels like, every single one of these
I wish
things.
we had Ferguson reading that. Just reading that.
Wouldn't that be
just
great?
Read that. Wouldn't that be the most beautiful thing?
If he just did it in his kind of Ferguson voice. You pay me.
Pay me.
You pay me.
You pay me.
All right.
You pay me.
Listen to all this stuff they're going to tax now. Luxury rides and high-end toys. I don't know if you see people driving down the road and they got a bunch of fun stuff. You got motorcycles and stuff.
I got motorcycles.
Is that a luxury toy?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that just a vehicle?
Oh, that's a good question.
depends.
It's my daily commuter. There you go.
All right.
But like a jet ski, an off-road vehicle, those kind of luxury toys,
Well,
RVs.
I'm talking extra luxury here. In this case, they're saying if you have high-end vehicles that are not your main driver.
Oh, okay. So if you got
or if you want to purchase high-end vehicles in our state.
What's high-end? What counts as high-end?
Over $100,000.
It's a high-end car. You know, it's funny, though. A lot more cars than you realize these days have crossed that threshold.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
SUVs. You see a big, nice SUV driving down the road?
Somebody down the road, and one of the bigger ones, your Cadillacs, your Lincolns, your whatnots.
Starts at 94. If you want it with doors, it's 105. Every single one of them.
All 4 doors? You want all 4? Okay. Well,
you want an engine in this thing?
Let's see if we,
That's
let's get the bank, see if you qualify for that kind of loan there.
Isn't that crazy?
It's a jumbo.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful vehicles. I mean, I'm not going to shake a stick at them.
Yeah.
They're very nice. All right, so here's the new tax. 8% tax on vehicles priced over $100,000. Just taking your money. They just decided. Now, you're already paying tax on that in our state.
Yeah.
You're already paying a tax
of course,
on
there's
that.
already sales tax, yeah.
You're already earning the money, then you're taxed on the money, and then you're buying it. So, what's $100,000? after taxes. That's like 150?
That's
140?
That's 112 with regular state tax, and then 8% on top. That's 120. It's 20%.
Well, I just mean like to have $100,000 to spend on a vehicle, you're already having to earn how much just to have the $100,000?
Like
150?
140, yeah, somewhere.
So you're already earning $150,000. That's taxed. Then it gets down to 100. Then you're going to spend that money in the state. You're going to create jobs. You're going to feed a local business who needs your money. Car dealers, God bless them. We love them.
Yeah, we do.
And then they're going to tax you 8% more on top of that, which feels kind of crazy to me, but whatever. It's Washington.
You pay me.
A 10% tax on non-commercial aircraft worth more than $500,000. These are your private jets. These are your helicopters. It's very easy to think to yourself, well, if somebody can afford a private jet, then they don't really need the money, and the taxes are not a very big deal. Wouldn't you agree?
I kind of would, because when you talk about a gas tax, of 6-cent increase on a gas tax, that hits you, me, and every Joe average.
Yeah.
That hits us all every day because you can't. But if you can afford a private jet, non-commercial, a private jet, maybe it's and oftentimes that's a business jet, right? Most people have a private jet. That's a business jet.
I would think so.
They find a way. They put one of those Joe's Lawn Service aluminum or magnetic stickers on the side.
Yeah,
all of a sudden it's your company jet, right? That's how you do it.
That's a good business, that lawn service. If you're buying a PJ,
yeah, you got a $500K private, and that's the low end.
Yeah, $500K. I wouldn't fly on a $500K private jet.
Really.
That's a cheap jet.
You bring your own snacks. Yeah, that kind of private jet.
10% tax on non-commercial aircraft.
You pay me.
10%. Here's the problem. It's not like you're buying a stationary object. So you're just going to hurt local businesses. Here's what I honestly believe. If we have any plane manufacturers in the state, which I think we do, who make private jets, why would you buy it in Washington State? Just buy it in another state and then fly it in here. List it in another state. Like if you're really rich and you're able to do that. Now I know that I know you can't get around taxes by buying vehicles in other states. I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're super rich and you're whatever it is, where your home address or whatever you do, your business address is in Delaware or something, you're not going to buy it in Washington State. If this is not an affordable place to buy it, they're going to slap on a 10% tax. You're going to find a better place to buy it, and then you're not going to be, then you're just flying it in and out of here. It doesn't live here. So they're going to get around that tax. So just local businesses are going to hurt from this. I don't like that. I don't like that tax.
I'm not. See, here's the thing. When you get into where you get a lot of billionaires, and I know they've earned their money. I know they contribute to the economy. I know they hire people. I know they do all those things. But these, like I said yesterday, if Bezos was 1 extra percent, he wouldn't even notice. He wouldn't even notice.
Well, he does.
Lauren Sanchez would tell me she spent it on cosmetic surgery and spray tans. He'd be fine with that.
Well, he'd be fine with that. Yeah.
Right.
But that's to his benefit, not us.
Fair enough.
Rental car tax. This one's crazy. Rental car sales tax. 5.9%. You want to come into our state, or your car
visiting the state,
breaks down or something.
I got family coming to town. I got family coming to town. A couple of them are renting vehicles.
Sales tax right now is 5.9%. That's going to jump to 11.9%, doubling it. Does that make sense to you?
And that's going to drop back down.
And it's going to drop back.
What is that
It'll
about?
drop back down to 10% in 2027.
You know what that's about? You know what that's about?
What?
You want to put out here World Cup. These are targeting the World Cup.
Totally right.
Targeting that's why they're dropping back.
This is peak interest rate pricing.
You know what this is? This is that they know they're coming. They know they got to rent cars. They know they're not going to skip the World Cup because of an additional $8 on your rental car tax fee. This is they got you. They know they got you.
Nickeling,
get them
diming
while they're coming and they're getting somebody else. They're not getting us.
You pay me.
Can you get that in a different language?
Yeah.
In
wherever you want it. I think this actually transfers
in Dutch, in Spanish, in German, in French. You pay me. Yeah.
You pay me.
Yeah.
I think everybody gets that. Yeah. They get that.
Yes, that's universal.
There's just a lot of stuff. We don't even have time to go through this whole list. Washington State ferries.
I was talking to Matt Markovich a little bit earlier today. We spent time talking about this is the 11th hour for the Democrats. So many things have been already said no. And they're throwing everything at the wall.
These are all I asked Matt about this before we got on there.
These are
all the
ones that have cleared.
Will pass.
These have been passed by House and Senate. They're now in council.
Well, a lot of these are a Senate rewrite that will go back to the House for their approval, but the Senate and the House are talking, so they're going to say yes.
Eventually, these are all going to hit Ferguson's desk.
Yes.
And they're going to get signed.
And they'll get signed, and then it's coming out of your pocket.
Yeah. You pay me.
There's a lot of these. I don't like a lot of these, and it makes it more expensive living in our state.
Here's what all you need to know. We don't have enough time to tell you.
You don't even have enough time.
How many things are coming after us?
I wasn't even able to make the second movie reference, which was a good one, but I'll do it later in the show. So stick around.
There you go. We'll give you a chance to recover from that news.
We'll give you a chance to recover from that.
I like this.
Get your wallets ready. Somebody's coming for it.
Speaking of getting my wallet ready.
Yeah. Can we have a little palate cleanser here? I'm excited because your daughter's getting married.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it next.
Yeah, and as far as I know, all the bills are paid. As far as I know to this point.
See what happens. Democrats might raise the price on these things soon. All right. Stick around. We're going to get Spike's story next. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
She's local.
I grew up in Olympia.
She's experienced.
I've been very lucky to be in Seattle for 23 years.
Now, Manda Factor is home on KIRO News Radio.
This is where I want to be. It's where I've always wanted to be.
Experience matters. Experience for yourself. Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. Every morning 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Integrity Roofing and Construction. I've been telling you for a long time now about my how much I appreciate and respect the work that the crews from Integrity Roofing and Construction did on my home. But as you've heard, I got family coming to town. And really, you don't think about how your roof looks. You're more worried about how it lasts and how it protects your investment. My roof looks fantastic. I've got family coming to town from all over the country for this wedding, and my house has never looked better. The crew at Integrity did a top-rate job, used the best materials, and the work is guaranteed. I could not be happier. Give Integrity a call today, 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF, or find them online at integrityrc.com.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
My wife and I have been married for over 15 years, and I've never had any complaints about my performance in the bedroom. But after I turned 40, things started feeling different. I was gaining weight, losing muscle, and I just wasn't interested in sex anymore. My wife told me her friend's husband went through the same thing, and it turns out he had low testosterone. So we booked a free T-check at Revive Health, and that's when I learned that my testosterone levels were low too. We worked with a provider to create a custom treatment plan, and today, my wife and I are having more fun than we did on our honeymoon. My only regret is not reaching out sooner.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com or call 206-529-1111. Again, that's 206-529-1111.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 Gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Texas fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
America first does not mean America alone.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent aiming to reassure trading partners today, but he adds China needs to export less and focus on its own consumers more. The U.S. has imposed a 145% tariff on imports from China. President Trump today insisting all his tariffs are working.
We have a lot of action going on. We're making a lot of money, this country. This country is not going to be losing money on trade anymore.
But some owners of small Seattle businesses say the trade war is devastating.
The recovery of this is going to be, we're calling it COVID 2.0.
Miles Richardson is GM of University Volkswagen and Audi. The U.S. has imposed a 25% tariff on imported cars and car parts that he says will drive up prices and drive some dealerships out of business. King County business leaders are sounding the alarm over state taxes that the legislature is considering. Seattle Metro Chamber of Commerce CEO Rachel Smith.
Legislators are doing this seemingly without regard to the ripple effects, the impacts on the overall economic ecosystem, and especially to new and startup businesses.
Smith fears businesses will leave the state and jobs will be lost. We're learning more about how the growing U.S.-China trade war is affecting Boeing. China has stopped taking deliveries of Boeing airplanes. Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg.
We're in close communication with our China customers, and we're actively assessing options for remarketing already built or in-process airplanes.
Ortberg sounds confident they will be able to find buyers for the 50 planes ordered by China. You have just 2 more weeks to get your enhanced Washington State driver's license. KIRO 7 TV found a woman in line hoping to grab a walk-in appointment at a Seattle DMV.
It looks like the next available appointment for this specific location was not until mid-June.
Starting May 7th, you won't get through TSA checkpoints at the airport or into certain federal buildings with your old license. Starting today, vehicle traffic will be temporarily banned at Pike Place Market. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun explains.
Seattle is limiting traffic access partially because of nearby work by Seattle Public Utilities. But this could give us a sneak peek at a vehicle-free future for the famous landmark. This has been a contentious debate for years now. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell brought up the idea again at his State of the City address in February.
Emergency vehicles and commercial deliveries are still allowed. Wall Street is up on hopes the trade war will ease. The Dow is up 414 points, NASDAQ ahead 408. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk in Lacey, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on I-5 southbound near Marvin Road. You're slow right around that area. Travel times have improved from earlier problems on I-405. Travel time Renton to Bellevue is back down to 17 minutes. Construction has you backed up on State Route 18 from the Tiger Mountain Summit to I-90. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Going
to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gee, I really love you.
Is this the most classic wedding song out there?
Yeah, probably so.
You know who sings this? I did not know until we got the song set up here.
Oh, who going to the chapel?
It's the
Shirelles?
Let me give you a hint, because it's not. Okay. It's the most adorable name for a band you've ever heard in your life.
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Close.
Who is
the Dixie Cups.
Oh, of course it is.
Isn't that
Of course
nice?
it is,
The
yeah.
Dixie Cups.
There'll be no Dixie Cups at this ceremony. Trust me when I tell you.
No,
it's
no.
gonna be
A lot of solo cups, though?
No.
It's classier
It's
than that.
classy joint. Yeah, beautiful venue, beautiful. Everyone's doing their part. Everyone's stepping up to the plate. You know.
Are you guys totally ready? Do you feel like if the wedding were to happen this instant, like for whatever reason, if like your wife walked in here and your daughter walked in here and her fiance, and they said, we're getting married in 10 minutes. Are you guys ready to go?
We're ready to go.
Fantastic.
We are. Tux has been cleaned, adjusted, pressed.
Now you can just enjoy
hemmed.
it.
Yeah, I hope.
What do you give us some worries though? I mean, like I want to share some of your anxiety, spread it out over the audience. We can all carry that load for you. What are you worried about?
Who knows? That I'll be in enough places at the same time.
Yeah.
Because, our little girl's getting married. As the father of the bride, there's some expectations on me. I have to be a host, right, for the guests. But I've also got to pick up all the elders from their hotel and get them to the venue in time. So I have to worry about parking. I have to make sure that the 80 parking places I paid for at the private parking lot all have enough. There's a lot of little moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
And we cleared the schedule so that, I have nothing to do, which means I'm available to do the 100 things that need to get done that we didn't see coming. But I got to give my kid credit, man. Ryan has done an amazing job getting this together because, she's not unsympathetic to the fact that it's a never-ending stream. Laura was looking at me because my hand hurts. My right hand physically hurts.
From what?
Writing checks. I can honestly tell you, I can't even hold a pen.
You got to Venmo
anymore.
that. That's the thing you got to do.
Yeah, and I make jokes.
Then you can just talk text.
No, I was, I spent last weekend getting the yard and the outside of the house ready.
Oh, yeah.
And I was gardening.
And it's not even at your house. This is for passersby who are visiting in town.
And this is for in company, in town guests. Companies coming from out of town. A lot of them are staying with us. A lot of folks are staying in hotels. We've got rental cars. Like about every vehicle we have is put in service this weekend.
Let me ask you a question. Are you
picking up the cake? Yes, Friday at noon. When?
You've already got the cake?
I got to pick it up Friday at noon.
You've got the cake ready to go.
Cake's ordered.
Were you surprised at the cost of the cake?
No, because my daughter has the most incredible taste on the face of the earth. You know what she wanted? Because wedding cake is supposed to be like the dessert, right? But there's a trend, and I love this. It's not the 5-story cake. That you see, right, from the Godfather's movie, right? It's not that. It's a very simple, modest, very personalized cake for Ryan and John.
Just for the two of them. So they can have their moment where they cut it.
And my kid loves Top Pot Donuts. So boom, boom. So Top Pot Donuts is catering my kid's wedding reception.
Fantastic.
I know, right?
Top Pot, who's a great friend of the show, who, by the way, brought in aprons for
you guys, yeah.
Like personally stenciled in apron.
We were lucky enough to be on air when Mark and his team started, and his brother and his entire team started Top Pot in Seattle. So when my daughter said, what I'd really like is, and she's just pie in the sky dreaming about it. And we reached out to our friends, and they said, yeah, we cater events. Like, so boom.
Sweet.
And that's off my plate, no pun intended.
Fantastic.
Right?
And on somebody else.
So, and went to-go bags and enough for everybody and the kitchen staff as well. Boom.
Enough donut talk. I'm not getting any donuts. I don't hear any more
I'll bring you one Monday. Oh, it's good.
Will you bring me some?
Of course I will.
Okay, thank you.
And we got somebody there's going to be extras. Take some home. It's
I like old fashions. That's what I would like.
Of course we got old fashions.
Here's a question for you.
Sprinkled in the school colors are there. Of course we do. Yes, we do.
Do you and your wife have any experiences from your wedding day that you can look back on and give advice to your daughter and her husband, her soon-to-be husband, on things to calibrate for the wedding day?
I can tell you one I've already put in play.
Hit it.
Don't do your own hair, grooms. I got pictures. I got pictures of me from our wedding, and I decided to change my hairstyle and do it myself the morning of the wedding.
Would you please share these? Would you please share these with the audience?
Yeah, you bet. I'll put the mullet out there for public consumption.
I'll tell you another one.
I said to the groom, I said to John, you go find the best guy in town, and you get there 4 days early, and you get it done by a professional.
So they're gonna have a hair guy come to the thing.
No,
or
he's
going
done.
ahead of time.
He's done. There's hair and makeup, of course, on the day of, but that's for the bridals. The bridal party. Yeah. He got himself. Don't trim your own beard. Don't do your own hair. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's the one day of your life.
Right. That picture's going to last forever. Your 100%. Grandkids are going to look at that picture.
100%.
That's what I learned the hard way.
Okay.
Horrible pictures.
It's kind of a rite of passage, actually, that you're going to have things like that.
Little things.
Little things like that. Obviously, it doesn't matter because, you and your wife have been very happily married for 3 decades plus.
But she still points at that picture.
But you still look at the picture, you go, you still roll your eyes at it.
She makes sure that newcomers to the house see it.
She goes, look at this.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this clown. Look at what he
ridiculous
decided
hair.
to do.
My wife, I don't know why she did this. She helped me pick my tux out, which is what every wife does.
Sure.
And she
helped you. That's so kind when you put that. You're a smartly married man.
And so, but the vest, is that what it's called? It's the vest that you wear underneath it?
The 3-piece.
I should have just gone with like a traditional black vest. Instead, she went with like an ivory white vest. And I'm already like a ivory looking guy.
You're kind of yeah.
I look like a teacup. I've got like such white skin. And it was early summer when we were getting married, and we didn't have, not early summer, whatever, it was July, but I didn't get
That's
out
early
and
summer
see a
in
lot.
Seattle.
I didn't get out and see a lot of sun.
Okay.
I still don't. And so in most of the pictures, because it ended up being a really hot day, I don't have my jacket on. So I have a white vest with a white bow tie.
And a
should have gone
shirt.
blacked out bow tie and a black shirt. And I look like Powder. You remember that movie Powder?
I do.
And I also have really like light blonde hair.
Right.
So I just look like
you're almost not in the picture.
No. Somebody's just like, oh, look at that your beautiful bride and this albino man she's standing next to.
That's so sweet.
It's very sweet.
I want to post pictures of both of these looks on our Facebook page.
I'll make sure.
Pretty bad.
I'll make sure I get you one of these. Yeah, mine's terrible.
Can we get to some? I do actually have some advice, like things that we need to help you guys remember.
Of course, anybody. It takes a community to marry my kid off.
The audience to text in 888-973-5476. If you have any advice for Spike or his family, please send it. You can hit us up on the Jake and Spike YouTube page as well, and we will try to get those in. I have one that we should talk about. Do you want to do it next or later? Doesn't matter. We'll get to it next.
Okay.
Because I do think there is something that's going to happen on your wedding day that is unavoidable, and you're just going to have to figure out how to get through it. And
but if you've got advice that would help us,
but I have advice on it.
I'd love to hear it.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio, your home for the John Curley Show.
You take the money from the guy that made the money because somehow he doesn't deserve all of that money, and you give it to the government, and then they redistribute it to everybody. How is wealth created from that? It is never created. We are all richer because these people, they came up with some pretty cool ideas that we all benefit from. Most of these guys didn't set out to be billionaires, but they set out to do was solve a problem.
Find podcasts and more at mynorthwest.com.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we provide top quality windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and stay clear with low maintenance glass. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Right now, have ultra-efficient clean technology windows installed and pay $0 down with 0 interest and 0 payments for 18 months. Only from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. And they'll even pay your sales tax. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Think about your home. Warm in the winter, cool in the summer. If any of these don't work, your quality of life is impacted. For a decade, I've trusted Home Comfort Alliance to fix and upgrade it all. Hi, John Curley here. Upgrade now with incredible savings on ultra-efficient heat pumps. Get up to $5,000 in local utility rebates. And Eastsiders save up to $6,000 with the Energy Smart Eastside program. Plus, Home Comfort Alliance is offering up to 10% off all heat pumps and air conditioning systems through April. Call Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jim Singletary here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we're not afraid to tell you no. Looking for a roofing company that'll do cheap, fast work and just cover up the problem? No, that's not us. Want a quick quote without a real inspection? Nope. Just want a price without knowing your options? Not happening. Look, we don't want to tell you no, but if saying yes means cut corners, bad results, or wasted money, we won't do it. Period. And here's the deal. Seattle gets 150 rainy days a year. That's not wait and see weather, it's call RoofSmart now weather. We say no to leaky roofs, sloppy work, and bad estimates, and yes to thorough inspections, accurate quotes, and top quality work that actually lasts. So if you want an honest roofer who's not afraid to say no to bad work, call RoofSmart today at 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Announcing the Million Hour Volunteer Rally. Donate your time to local food banks or host a food drive. You can win groceries for a year and a $5,000 donation. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer to learn more.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike is going to be walking his daughter down the aisle in,
Yes.
68 hours?
About that. Well, it's 5 o'clock on Saturday night. So I'll do the hard math for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty unbelievable experience. You're going to be caught up in those moments. It's going to go by really, really fast. Like, I don't know if you had the same experience when you got married. You have all this anticipation, all this planning that you go through.
Yeah.
And then the day is happening, and it's almost like, for me at least, it felt like it was happening around me. It didn't feel like it was happening to me.
Oh, wow.
You're just being like pushed
a little
from one thing.
out-of-body-ish? Yeah.
It was out of body-ish because there's so much happening. You've got the morning of the wedding. You want to make sure everything goes great. You're excited to see your future, your spouse, and then you get up there and you get married. As soon as we got married, the priest who married us, who we've known for years and who christened my wife when she was a baby.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So he was still around. Rest in peace. He's no longer with us, but he was still there. But we had gone through all these like pre-marriage classes and stuff and all this stuff.
Smart.
Yeah, and so, but then he introduces us and he goes, introduce you to Mr. and Mrs. Skormeyer. And like totally gets the name wrong, and everybody just starts laughing.
Oh, no.
But he's an old fella, so we didn't really care too much. God bless him. But the whole day's happening.
That's a guarantee of eternal happiness, and you'll never right there.
Yep, it was
that moment.
It was
it
like
really
a good
is.
luck.
Yeah,
and we all kind of like laughed it off, and it was nice. And then we had the whole day was happening, and time just the time barrier just breaks down, and you're just. It's like I remember looking up at times and just being like, wow, this is really fast. The meal happens, the dancing happens, all the stuff, and you're jumping from one thing to the other. So like my advice to your daughter and her husband would be, if they can find a moment, and I can't remember my wife and I doing this, and I like to think maybe in my brain somewhere I'll just create this someday in my brain so all memories turn to gold. But take a moment between the vows and the rest of the day at some point. Just sneak away to spend like 15 minutes just together, husband and wife or whoever you're marrying. Just go spend some time together away from everybody's looking eyes. And, they're all like, because they're all just excited to see you and they're all going to be doing ding, 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 and the kissing and all the things. Yeah. It's all wonderful traditions. But the day is about the two of you, and that can get really lost in how fast everything happens.
That's nice. Yeah.
So just try to find a little moment to sneak away. And I mean, maybe your thing is to pop a drink, or it doesn't really matter what it is. Just like go have a quiet moment. And if you can do that, then, then you'll at least remember that 15 minutes.
What I worry is that there's so many things scheduled, between.
That's what I'm talking about.
Between pickup and photos and this and that and the toast and the dance and the meal and the bun and boom, you get everything, that you don't take a moment to just drink it in and realize where you are and what's happening. And I want to make sure I get to do it with my lovely bride.
Also, your wife.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys are in this golden era right now.
Yeah,
this is an apex moment in your life.
Yeah.
It really is. This is one of those moments that like you work your whole life to get to.
Yes.
And you look back on for the rest of it.
Yep. Since the day I met her.
And I look at this wedding photo. I know we got some text messages we'll get to now. But like I look at this wedding photo. We have this beautiful wedding photo of myself excluded from that. The albino sitting in the middle.
Your beautiful wife in powder.
My beautiful wife in powder. Sitting there, and we're surrounded by all these people who love us. It's going to make me teary talking about it. But like my wife's sitting there, I'm sitting there, and it's all of our family members. I think they maybe all have like hands on us, like we're all connected. Multi-generations. It's like my grandma was still alive. My wife's grandma was still alive. My uncle, my wife's uncle was still alive. All these people. And we look at that picture now, and 2/3 of the people in the picture, including my father-in-law, are no longer with us.
Yeah.
This is only 13 years ago. And life happens so fast. Cherish these moments so hard because they just don't come around again. And you cannot recapture them. And so I hope that you guys can, enjoy those moments.
I appreciate that. And Laura said you've got a bunch of people that have texted in their tips and remembrances from their moments that may help our family make the most of this day.
So many good ones. And if we don't read yours, we'll read it later in the show because I've gotten so many great texts from people.
Thanks.
Tammy in the 360 says, set an alarm to stop and take notice of what's going on every hour or every 2 hours, whatever you think would be best.
I like that.
We're just talking about that.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't miss the moments.
206 says, when my daughter got married, I wrote a letter of all my personal feelings and wishes for her that I knew I wouldn't be able to tell her in person and put it in the glove box of their car. She discovered it and has it to this day, 22 years later.
That's nice.
I wish my hand still worked. I could write that down.
Write that down. Talk to text.
So
Talk
good.
text.
And
Send her a text.
425 says, my best advice is roll with the punches. Something will always go wrong, and it's best to know that going in and just let go of what you can't control.
This is great advice,
All
people.
good advice.
Such good advice, yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Thanks, buddy.
What an amazing moment you're about to have.
It's finally here.
Yeah.
We've been getting ready for this for about a year and a half now.
Ah, that's great.
Since he came to us and asked for a
I love
marriage.
weddings.
Yeah.
Weddings are so fun. All right, we got a lot more to cut. We got a lot more to talk about. It's not just going to be wedding talk. A lot of stuff to get to.
I need
Street
a dog
racing.
sitter. No, I'm kidding. The dogs are factored into the wedding.
Oh, I bet
the
they
dogs have their own stationery.
Dogs are kids now. Haven't you heard?
I know. Trust me, I know.
Are they the ring bearers?
They wouldn't let them.
Oh.
Not on the venue. They're the greeters.
Oh, that's nice.
Male pup's got a tux. Female pup's got a
that's sweet.
flower. What do they call the ring of flowers?
We're gonna need some pictures after for the Facebook page or wherever.
I hope they let us share.
All right.
I
a lot
should
of
hire a
stuff to get
photographer,
to.
shouldn't I?
A what?
I should probably hire a photographer or something. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I kid.
He kids. All right. Stick around. We'll be right back.
She's local.
I grew up in Olympia.
She's experienced.
I've been very lucky to be in Seattle for 23 years.
Now, Manda Factor is home on KIRO News Radio.
This is where I want to be. It's where I've always wanted to be.
Experience matters. Experience for yourself. Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. Every morning 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It may be the most noble profession.
Come on.
It's the work of heroes.
Heroes?
You want to live without plumbing?
Well, no.
Then you need plumbers.
Right.
Thing is, so do I.
You need plumbers.
Smiles, actually.
Smiling plumbers?
Or someone who smiles and wants to become an Apollo plumber.
A smile. That's what it takes?
Skills are something we can teach.
Sure.
But a positive attitude comes from within.
That's a big part of being an Apollo plumber.
The biggest part.
What else?
A desire to learn and serve.
Just like every Apollo plumber.
As they learn, so shall they earn.
Earn?
Apollo plumbers can earn 6 figures.
Enough to make me smile.
We believe you get what you give.
Give a smile.
And Apollo service.
Get a smile.
A well-paid smile.
Driving one of those big blue Apollo trucks.
That's the goal.
Does seem pretty noble.
It's important, satisfying work.
And you're looking now?
There's always room for another smile around here.
On the Apollo Plumbing team.
Apply at apolloplumbing.com.
Hi, it's John Curley. You know, I've been a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic since 2009, and Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. You know what's amazing, doctor? The feelings that you have after just a couple of months. You sleep better. Your strength and vitality, it is evident that it works. It's really a mindset, though, Dr. Mixon, because a lot of people, well, this is what's supposed to happen.
Let us help you be stronger, faster, leaner, smarter, sexier, but most important, happier. I'm less impressed by how many years I might live, but how much I live during my years. You know, the option is here. Nobody's going to make you go to longevity. But the opportunity is there, and all you have to do is take advantage of it. I don't know why anybody would not want to do what we do.
And that's where Longevity Medical Clinic comes in. So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
I've never had any complaints about my performance in the bedroom. But after turning 40, I noticed my libido just wasn't what it used to be. That's when I reached out to Revive Health. Their team knew exactly what I needed, which is why today, my wife and I are both more satisfied than ever.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, text BOOST to 65555 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to schedule your appointment. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Text help for help. Text stop to cancel. See privacy policy at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/privacy for info on how opt-in info will be used and terms and conditions at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/terms of use for terms of short code service.
She and Ursula agreed to disagree.
If there is a fire, a house is burning down, we don't ask, hey, but who did you vote for?
Yeah.
No, we help a neighbor.
Weekday mornings at 11:06 on KIRO News Radio.
Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens has given me back clear vision. They've performed over 80,000 successful lens replacement surgeries. At Sharp Vision, you'll get the best price combined with the best experience. Sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an E, -vision.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-961-5544. 800-961-5544.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Steel, walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The faithful waited hours to pay their final respects to Pope Francis at the start of 3 days of public viewing ahead of his funeral.
He's like a member of the family, isn't he? Somebody very close to our hearts, somebody who made the church very accessible to everybody and inclusive to everybody.
CBS's Nora O'Donnell was among those passing through St. Peter's Basilica.
I mean, it was so quiet. It was so solemn. We stood just feet away from Pope Francis. People reached out to touch his coffin. We heard one little girl kind of cry, and you could hear people, praying very, very quietly. But it was a moment of reflection. It was a moment to think about his legacy.
Pope Francis will be buried on Saturday. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tried to calm nerves today over the global trade war and President Trump's tariffs.
America first does not mean America alone. To the contrary, it is a call for deeper collaboration and mutual respect among trade partners.
Correspondent Nancy Cordes reports some top industry leaders are also urging the president to settle the disputes.
He met here at the White House with the CEOs of Walmart and Target behind closed doors on Monday, and they delivered a pretty blunt warning. They said that his enormous tariffs on Chinese goods could lead in a matter of weeks to empty store shelves.
Boeing's CEO said today he doesn't expect the trade war will get in the way of its financial recovery, even though China is refusing to accept aircraft deliveries. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin says he will not seek re-election next year, ending his 40-plus years in Congress. Correspondent Chanel Call reports his Illinois seat is considered relatively safe for Democrats.
This open seat is going to set up a pretty competitive race in Illinois. The state has grown to be a bit more solidly Democratic. In recent years, Republicans have only captured a Senate seat there twice for 6 terms since 1984.
President Trump lashed out today at Ukraine's president for saying his country won't accept Russia holding on to Crimea in a peace agreement. Former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, William Taylor, says there's still wiggle room for a deal.
The Russians are not going to like it that the Ukrainians won't legally recognize their Russian control of Crimea, but they don't have to. If the Americans recognize it, that might be good enough for Putin.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrials finished the day 419 points higher. This is CBS News.
Steel, walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
State lawmakers are poised to pass a bunch of taxes. Details coming up at first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Bellevue, a crash is blocking a lane on State Route 520 westbound near I-405. You're backed up to 124th Avenue Northeast. In Lacey, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-5 southbound near Marvin Road. You're slow right around that area. And construction has you backed up on State Route 18 from the Tiger Mountain Summit to I-90. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch.
Please be nicer to the middle class.
A driver filling up his tank with that plea today. But as KIRO 7 TV's Brendan Thompson explains, state lawmakers are poised to increase your gas tax.
Washington already has the 3rd highest gas tax in the country. That is sitting at more than 49 cents per gallon. This bill would increase it by 6 cents a gallon in the first year and then by 2% every year after that. The lawmakers behind the bill say construction like on Highway 18 or even Snoqualmie Pass, those projects would not get done without raising the tax.
KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich says lawmakers are considering a laundry list of tax hikes
on vehicle weights, registrations, luxury cars and planes, and fee increases for driver's licenses, ferry fares, rental cars, including peer-to-peer rentals like Turo, and increased fines from speed cameras, and an unusual new tax like a $1 per head transportation fee for anyone attending an event in a stadium that holds 17,000 people or more. The bill's on a fast track for passage before the session ends this Sunday. Matt Markovich, KIRO News Radio.
And there's more. Seattle's mayor today announcing a $1.3 billion renewal of the family's education, preschool, and promise levy.
The proposal includes investments in affordable child care, expands student safety and mental health resources, and provides free college tuition. The mayor quoted Malcolm X when describing the importance of the proposal.
Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.
The levy renewal is expected on the November ballot. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The busy highway construction season is underway, and WashDOT is reminding you to slow down in construction zones.
When they treat a work zone like an inconvenience instead of a warning, it puts lives at risk. Real people.
Speeding isn't the only concern. Following too closely was the #1 cause of work zone crashes last year. A Fox Island man has pleaded not guilty in the death of his girlfriend, but KIRO 7 TV's Monique Bing-Lavin says there's a twist in Lars Nelson's case.
According to court documents, prosecutors believe Nelson and the victim had formed a suicide pact, and she may have convinced him to kill her. The victim's dad speaking out in court.
We entrusted him with our daughter. These are two young people that maybe combined had issues that were exacerbated.
A judge set Lars's bail at $750,000.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 60 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Spike's final day of the week before he heads off to celebrate his daughter's wedding, which is coming up this weekend. Very exciting times. Getting a lot of nice messages from folks.
That's really sweet of people to chime in with little hard-earned lessons, a lot of moments that enriched their memories and their experiences in their family life. And
heck yeah. Also just nice little messages. Thor on the YouTube chat line, he just said, hey, Jake and Spike, love your show. That's nice. Yeah. He says, hope, Spike, your daughter's wedding is amazing. Blessings to you and your family.
Thank you, my friend.
Isn't that nice?
It is.
That's beautiful.
I'll take all I can get.
I love that. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to in this hour because we didn't get to a ton in the first hour. Street racing is happening. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or you know about this, but there's a bunch of street racing happening, and Seattle police are trying to figure out how to crack down on it. Apparently on Saturday, there was a big group, and I think a lot of this is happening and being organized on social media. Which is
absolutely.
Really tough for the police. When I was a kid, we would send out flyers, and it was all through the traditional U.S. mail, which took forever. Stamps are expensive, so it's very difficult to arrange these things. But we did from time to time. But now it's all through social media, these savvy young people. And they apparently, hundreds of people met at, let's see here, over 200 people gathered at several key locations, Lumen Field, Costco, Pier 55, Home Depot, and Soto. And they just do a bunch of street racing. And Seattle police are like, what do we do about this?
Right.
How do we fix this problem?
And the Seattle police also, they're not knuckleheads. They monitor these social media sites just as much as you youngsters do.
For sure.
Yep.
So what do you think Seattle police should do about this? Do you care about street racing?
Of course I do, because you see
it's dangerous.
You see it becoming far too common, and you see these horrible videos of accidents happening and people getting injured in this. Even if, and that's the worst case scenario, but taking over intersections and flaunting their criminality, dismissive of law enforcement. Cops show up and they're like, make us leave, and try to arrest us, try to catch us.
Yeah.
And they keep doing donuts and burnouts and spins and smoke, whatever they call those things.
I'm glad you mentioned the donuts, and I don't know what they call them, but I watch these videos. It's crazy. Yeah. They always happen. But people will do these donuts, and then I don't know what there's a name for it.
Drifting is when you
drifting is a different thing.
That's when you race and you take a corner and you slide through a corner.
Sliding.
I don't know the vernacular of these kids.
I don't know the vernacular.
Me neither. But I think what he asked me what they should do, what cops do.
But the people standing in the middle of the donuts
with a camera,
for the clicks, you're wasting your
for the gram. Is that what they call it, Laura?
Risking your life for the clicks of the gram. That's
Laura's
right.
just laughing.
That's exactly what they call it.
They call it the gram.
Yeah, you guys are so cool.
The gram.
No, I know better. Come on, what really?
That's what it's Grammys. That's what Grammys comes from.
Is that what it's from?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. So if you stand in the middle of one of these things, you take a bunch of pictures and you put it out on the gram, and there's more than one Grammys.
There's a new platform.
Multiple.
Instagramophone.
Instagramophone.
Yeah, the merging of two generational worlds.
But what do you do about this? How do you solve this thing? Because
Lose
everybody
the car.
wants.
I'm not kidding. It's time. Lose the car.
Sure.
Lose the car. You get caught street racing. Maybe not the first offense, but I'm not third. Second time out, lose the car.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Yep.
Fool me twice.
Lose the car.
You lose the car.
Lose the car.
Yeah, I am fully on board with that.
A few of these knuckleheads lose their vehicles, lose their parents probably paid for that. Maybe some of these youngsters are working hard.
They might be wrenching themselves. They might be
lifting
hooligans or whatever they call
lifting
them.
themselves up by their seatbelts.
Sure,
might be.
Sure.
Lose the car.
If they're even strapping in, which they should be.
They look at them 5-point harnesses. How do people afford these race cars that they're cruising around in? These are some high dollar stuff.
You know what? We're missing something from this story. We're trying to come up with branded stuff. We're missing something from this story. And I think you and I need to get to the bottom of it. How do they afford these things? Are they is it all about the clicks on the Grammys? Is that what they're doing?
People do monetize their social media feed. Yeah,
I don't know how that works. Laura, how do people make money on social media? What are they doing? It's not OnlyFans, is it?
No. Well, I mean.
Are these race car drivers also posing and doing things online that they were going to regret later?
So they're either getting sponsored posts from companies or like any kind of product or ad sale situation. Buy my, laxative lollipops per Kim Kardashian. That was a real one.
Is that big in the racing community? Laxative lollipops?
I think Shaq's got an endorsement for that from yesterday's story.
Yeah, no, he's an olive oil guy.
Or there are creator funds. So TikTok has a creator fund, YouTube. I don't know if Instagram does or not, actually. But if your video performs well, then you get a payout. So this is how Spike's kid got, $200?
Couple $100, yeah.
From
for a video.
Yeah.
His video that went mega viral.
150 million, or 1.5 million
views.
So you have these people who are jumping in the middle of this, are risking their life for $150.
Well, there's also people who are patrons. If you've got a YouTube channel and you're posting videos of street racing, people can donate money to your channel.
They'll
as
throw
a
you a
patron,
couple of bones.
Right, because they enjoy the content you're creating.
So how do you solve the problem, though? Back to our branded segment of there's more to what's missing from the story. Like, how do you solve this problem of street racing?
Well,
how do you
social
solve
media
a problem like
accounts
street racing?
should demonetize anyone who's participating in illegal activity.
Like
right?
that guy. What was that guy's name?
Belltown Hellcat.
The Hellcat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making a ton of money doing illegal things.
That seems like basic common sense. How are you making any money doing something illegal online?
But
common sense.
The flip side of that is they'd have to be able to prove that the person was doing something illegal. Like, how do you derive that from a video?
Video evidence. Come on.
I guess it could be video evidence. Yeah, you could be right.
I mean, is that you in the car doing donuts? That's why losing the car matters, because you can say it wasn't me. Well, it was your car. It's registered to you. Here's the evidence. It's the evidence. Lose the car.
Here's what I think they should do. I've solved this problem for the SPD. So SPD's listening. Like all these street racer types out there, all these Instagrammers and Facebooks or whatever they're posting these things on. What you need to do is you need to get like a street savvy young cop. And I'm just coming up with this. It was just at the top of my head. Okay. I didn't borrow this from anywhere. This is completely 100% original.
Okay.
I think you need to find like a youngish looking cop in the SPD, somebody who's hip. They might not even be that young. It might be like an older cop who just has really good genes and looks young. Like I looked very young. If I was a cop, I could infiltrate.
You could, yeah. You're at the edge of 17.
Well, that's kind. That's maybe too young. I don't want nobody to call me a 17-year-old, but I do look very young. I actually got carded last night. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
At a grocery store?
It happens all the time. I was just buying a bottle of wine. My wife and I were saying, "Hey, a little Sauv Blanc sounds good." The guy stopped me and he goes, "How old are you?" And I said, "No,
awesome.
it's somebody." And he carded me and he goes, "You look half that age." And I said, "That's nice. That's nice. Let me get one more on video to show me." So you need to find a youngish looking cop, guy or gal, doesn't matter. Okay. If it's a gal, it should be a very attractive gal. It's going to be easier to infiltrate this group. If it's a guy, he needs to have kind of a cocksure swagger, somebody who you like instantly and you also think knows what he's doing.
Okay.
Kind of a Hollywood A-list type. That's what you're going for.
Okay.
And then you want to have them infiltrate the group. So you get one of these cars that's already been impounded, right?
Okay.
You paint it so it looks like a different car.
Sure, you tweak a couple different things.
Tweak a couple different things. Maybe some aftermarket stuff. I'm not saying to break the law, but some aftermarket stuff. Make it look cool, just enough so they don't think you're a cop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want you to, they sniff that stuff out.
Sure.
These guys are doing illegal things. So then you get this young cocksure cop who's not identifying as a cop. He's just like a cool young guy who's going into the group. And then he joins the group. And before you know it, he's like part of their, they call him posse. They probably don't call it a posse. I don't know what they call it. Like a racing crew.
Sure.
Now he's part of the crew. And now he's aware of what they're doing. But then slowly but surely, he's trying to like change their minds about street racing and maybe bringing up some things that they're not thinking about, like how dangerous it is.
Okay.
Like at one of these street races, he's probably stopping the car before he does donuts. And he sees the guy who's walking in trying to get pictures. And he goes, hey, buddy, like that's kind of dangerous. You could still get pictures from the side.
Is that going to blow his street cred, though, to be safe? Because I think, they live outside the law, man.
You're right. It could blow his street cred.
Yeah, it'd be tough. You may have to let one kid get bumped just to maintain your street cred.
Just a little bump. Like a tiny bump. But he's a really excellent driver because he's gone to cop driving school.
Sure.
So he knows what he's doing. If he could just like run over a foot.
That's good.
Just run over somebody's foot and then they go, all right, he's not a cop.
You got to break a few feet, save a few lives. You know what I'm saying?
I even found a theme song for this person. Oh, if I had my audio up. Here we go. Here's the theme song for it. And again, this is totally original.
It's original, yeah.
Fast and the Furious.
Did you write this yourself? That's catchy.
I didn't write this. This just fits my premise.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
But it's not. But this is if they've made a movie out of this premise, I'm unaware of it.
Oh, okay.
But this is a song that I think could
do a Google search on that, Laura.
Because I was thinking about this. These cars that are racing, they're fast and they're furious.
They are.
And dangerous.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious and Dangerous. It feels wordy. I would say like kind of a Fast and Furious situation. But again, this is all just original. I've never seen. If they have made a movie out of this, I haven't seen it.
Okay, I like it.
So they need to infiltrate, and then what they should start doing is sending us messages, so we could be like the people who are getting the story out to people.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. We could be their media mouthpiece, right?
Yeah.
We work with
them.
Yeah.
Like we're tied into the street racing community, the Fast and Furious street racing community, and then we're delivering this to the public, and then we're slowly also like a propaganda thing. We're trying to discourage people from racing.
Sure, we are. Yeah.
Because we're smart.
Public safety.
Right. Somebody's got to get bumped. Obviously, we're not like saying that that's a good thing, but it will have to happen.
Yeah.
What do you think of my idea? Is that going to work?
I think it's a great idea. I hope none of these crews are listening to the show because we may have just given away the whole game here.
I didn't think about that.
You think about it? Because,
we're really popular in the Fast and Furious community.
Are we popular with street racers?
Yeah, big time. I get text messages all the time from people all the time.
They're texting in street racing?
Yeah.
That's so dangerous.
They're talk-to-texting. They're actually really smart about that. They know not to text and drive because they don't want to draw attention because that draws in the heat.
Oh, yeah, you go.
Which is what they call the cops, the heat.
The heat. The man.
Which also is another idea for another movie. And if they've made one out of that, I don't know. I have another movie idea but this one's about lady cops, and you can call it The Heat.
Okay. Oh, I like this.
Yeah. These are all just free-floating ideas. If anybody's out there looking for ideas, you can have these things. These are
such
free.
a creative mind.
Yeah. That's the thing that's happening right now. So I hope these street racers are listening. Don't run over people, street racers, and stop street racing around people.
Yeah.
There's got to be a place where they can go and they can get their street racing in and not hurt anyone.
They could go to a farm and race with other young cars. Right?
They could go. Yeah, absolutely. And like an organized thing.
It's funny you say that because, I'm of an older generation, and they used to be able, they were drag racing, and they would go down to, say, in the Burien area. There's a section of 509 where when you turn off to go to the airport, there's a straightaway that runs between that section of Burien parallel to the west of the airport. And these kids had like a quarter mile.
What's the Speedway thing called? Is it Seattle? Is it International?
Not Seattle National Raceway. Not
SIR.
I'm talking about a stretch of state highway.
Oh, okay.
On 509. That
so
was
it's not technically legal,
right? Straight quarter mile, and that's where they used to go. And they used to run. My wife and her friends when she was a teenager, they go down there every Saturday night. And they'd have drag races down there, and the cops, would come chase them away once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
But they weren't, doing street racing through the streets of a busy Seattle, they'd go to someplace they knew had some.
They knew it was
there
safe.
was an outlet for them.
Yeah. Much more like American graffiti. It was that feels like an American graffiti situation.
Exactly.
It's safe.
And I know that they used to have, the high schools used to have drag races where kids who were motorheads.
Well, that's a long way away.
Right? But they used to have them come in and they would give them that SIR.
Do kids even drive cars anymore? Are they all just in EVs that drive themselves? Like that's my hope that someday all cars are just EVs that drive themselves.
So then eliminating street racing is just a programming hack.
Yeah.
Right? We just have to get a programmer.
I just look at my phone and go, geez, my kid's street racing again. And I turn it off. I say, take him to church. That's what I would do.
Text him and say, why are you doing circles? Why are you doing donuts?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you looking for a place to park at the mall? What's
I'd
going on?
scan all his friends' Grammys and see where they were posting the pictures. No, we used to go to SIR too when I was a kid. That was the thing you'd go and do, and you'd see how fast your car was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like open days where you could just drive your car in, and they're going to put the marker on your, because all you really wanted, didn't care how fast your car was. You just wanted the what is it called? It's the grease pen. You just wanted the grease pen numbers on your car.
Oh, okay.
So it looked like you were a racer.
Oh, wow. Could you do your own?
I guess you could. I never thought of that. That's smart. That's a smart idea. All right, so stop street racing out there, you hooligan children.
Cops are onto you. That's the gist of this whole story at My Northwest. Cops are onto you.
We're onto you, kids. All right, let's see how the state is doing right now. Bob Ferguson, we got a lot of stuff going on in our state. We were talking about taxes and everything earlier.
Yeah,
People were kind of
it's
depressed
11th
about.
hour to try to meet the budget shortfall.
You want to think that there's a steady hand at the till, right? Or the tiller? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Tiller or till?
The
till is something you purchase things with.
Yeah, well, but
a tiller is a boat thing.
It's funny though because there's just at the helm, the wheel, right?
That's what I was thinking.
But also a steady hand running the state's till. Where are we spending our tax dollars?
You don't want you don't want a greedy hand going into the till.
No.
And you also want somebody who's at the helm.
Right.
So that's
the
what you want.
tiller is what steers a boat, right? You know what that is?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So also a hand on the tiller. There's
Sure.
3 hands here, but.
Right. Takes a village.
Governor Bob Ferguson, what's he up to these days? What is he saying yes to? What bills is he signing, and how is he protecting us as Washingtonians? Let's hear about it.
Senate Bill 5065 prevents large exotic animals like elephants and big cats from being used in traveling circus acts. Transporting these animals to perform stresses them, exposes them to the elements, and isolates them for long periods.
The important things he's getting done.
This is important protection for these beautiful animals, and it's an honor to sign it into law. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
This is you'll have to go to Oregon or Idaho to see the circus act? Is that what this is?
I guess. Is he saying he's not outlawing circuses here, right? He's just saying that you can't have a big animal, like you can't have a tiger. You can't run around with a tiger.
I play that again because I thought he was saying that you can no longer the circus can no longer come to town.
Oh, is he banning all traveling circuses?
That's what I'm getting from this.
That seems a little off.
Senate Bill 5065 prevents large exotic animals like elephants and big cats from being used in traveling circus acts. Transporting these animals to perform stresses them, exposes them to the elements, and isolates them for long periods. This is important protection for these beautiful animals.
So I think it's just the animal. I don't think it's the circuses themselves.
Well, come to the circus, come to town without animals. Maybe they'll come to your circus.
Yeah, good luck.
Am I antiquated, my perspective on circuses? Have they already eliminated big caged animals?
You can't have them.
From the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, the greatest show on earth?
I don't think the greatest show on earth is still around, but I do think they went out of business a couple years ago. Is that possible?
Wow.
Laura, can you look that up?
Behind the times.
Is Ringling Brothers still in operation? And if so, can we get Spike a ticket?
And don't bother if there's
He's a massive circus fan.
They've got a website. Buy tickets.
Okay, so you can still go see him.
They're going to be in Baltimore, Maryland.
Well, we don't care about animal safety in Baltimore, Maryland. That's
Not
my hometown.
Balmer.
No, sir, not in Baltimore. You know they used to march the elephants through the streets when the circus came to town?
This is the thing. This is what I want.
Right?
This is what I want my kids to be able to see.
Right.
And you don't think an elephant loves that? People throwing peanuts at him and stuff?
It's the greatest.
The greatest show on earth.
You ever see a movie called, I love movie roads. You ever see a movie called Avalon? Barry Levinson, Baltimore native, did a trilogy of movies in Baltimore. Diner was one of them. Avalon was another one. Tin Men was the third, I believe it was.
I have not seen Avalon.
And Avalon's about an immigrant family who comes to America in Baltimore, blah, 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 blah. The generational, the 4 brothers came from the old country, raised their kids became more acclimated to America.
What was the old country?
I believe they were Polish. Or they were somewhere, some Slavic nation. I apologize.
Yeah.
If it's a little Russian, it might be Russian.
Beautiful language.
There's a scene in which they're all at a Baltimore row house. All of a sudden, an elephant walks by, and it's a hot summer day, and they're waving with their fans because it's before air conditioning. So how they saw an elephant walk by, and because Ringling Brothers used to arrive downtown by train.
That is an elephant.
The B&O Circus, the B&O Railroad Station, downtown Baltimore would arrive, and the elephants would march through downtown Baltimore.
Well, that's
to
the advertisement.
Baltimore Civic. That was it. The circus is in town.
Yeah.
That was it. And now, thanks to Bob Ferguson, my child will never know this wonder.
I want to live in that world where you can still see an elephant marching down the street.
Thanks, Church Ferguson. Thanks a lot.
Yikes.
And maybe I'm antiquated. Maybe Ringling Brothers saw the light of animals protection and no longer has traveling animals.
I don't see any on their lineup on their website, but they do have. Do you guys remember those robot dogs from New York City?
That's what's traveling with the circus now?
They have a version of that with pink fur on it called Bailey Circuit, and that walks around and interacts with the crowd. I kid you not. I'll show you guys the picture during the break.
If the circus is no longer in animals, I mean,
this is a Ferguson thing. It's not
a Fergie thing. I can't blame him for Ringling Brothers abandoning live animal entertainment.
Are you saying it's a turd, Ferguson?
I can't. I gotta know more.
Mr. Reynolds has apparently changed his name to Turd Ferguson.
You can't just throw that around willy-nilly. That's right. a serious accusation. Funny name. Big accusation. Can't just throw that around.
Bring back the elephants.
I'm telling you. The tigers, the lions, the cracking of the whip.
As long as the tiger's on the leash,
right?
I'm fine with it.
Happy tiger, eating like a king.
Throw him a steak.
You bet.
Just don't throw him any kids or anything. Just like give him something to eat. I want to see him. Not too close, but I do want to see him. Not anymore in Washington State. It's a shame. All right, we got a lot coming up. I'm really excited. We're going to talk to the guy who is recreating in the actual Goonies house in Astoria next live. He's going to be with us.
Preserving this iconic piece of
not just preserving, recreating down to the couch cushions of what you saw on the screen from the movie Goonies. We're going to talk to him next. We're going to talk to see how are you going to do this in your Emmy-winning experience. How are you going to figure this out? He's going to tell us all about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877, or visit us online at GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Did you know that over the past 10 years, home values have increased the most during the first quarter of the year? So how much is your home worth right now? Check it out instantly at sellwithwest.com. Sure, there are other apps out there you can use, but most of them are national companies. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. If you're even thinking about making a move in 2025, go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from Wes Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. So here's what you have to do. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens has given me back clear vision. The process was simple and easy. I scheduled my free consultation and discovered I was at the early stage of cataracts and a perfect candidate for RLE. They restored clarity and brightness to my vision like when I was in my 20s, and I'll never need readers again and never develop cataracts. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and lens are taking RLE surgery to the next level. Call them now at 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. Official eye care provider of Sounders FC.
The preseason AC sale is on now at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. This month only, keep your home cool and your wallet comfortable with 15% off. Plus, free financing on all air conditioners, heat pumps, and ductless systems. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest and call Bob's today for your free estimate. Hurry, the discount reduces to 10% off in May. Call Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-371-0505. 800-371-0505.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Boeing today is downplaying the recent move by China to boycott the company. In an earnings call today, CEO Kelly Ortberg called it a short-term challenge, saying they'll just find other buyers.
Get us to in a position to remarket those airplanes. And as you know, to remarket them, we'll have to do some things like painting them and things like that.
Chinese airlines are being told to stop taking deliveries of Boeing jets amid the U.S.-China trade war. Boeing stock climbed today more than 6% on a solid trading day overall. At the closing bell, the Dow gained 419, NASDAQ ahead 407, S&P ahead by 88. Investors optimistic after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he expects a de-escalation in the tariff showdown with China.
In a speech at the spring meetings of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, Secretary Bessent said there's an opportunity for a big deal with China, but Beijing should act more like an adult economy.
China can start by moving its economy away from export overcapacity and towards supporting its own consumers.
China says the Trump administration should stop trying to bully and blackmail its trading partner. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
The CEOs of Walmart, Target, and Home Depot met with President Trump at the White House, laying out their arguments against tariffs, including those 145% levies on Chinese imports. Retail analyst Bert Flickinger.
We're already seeing the store shelves empty because Walmart buys 80% of their inbound product from People's Republic of China or mainland China and the surrounding countries. Target buys close to 40 to 50%.
Meantime, home buyers shrugging off tariff uncertainty last month. The Commerce Department reports new home sales rose 7.4% in March from the previous month. That was well above market estimates. Takes us to 1:33. We go now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. What is brought to you by the FRS Clipper. And right now the map is in very good shape. Just some minor slowdowns in the usual slow spots, like heading into Seattle on I-5, the U District. You start to jam up a bit. Still only about a 32-minute drive, though, from Linwood. Heading up into Everett from Seattle, about a 35-minute drive. 40 minutes from Bellevue with some slowdowns through Canyon Park. Renton to Puyallup in good shape, about a 40-minute drive. So is Bellevue to Renton. And Tacoma to Olympia, pretty much wide open. So are the Lake Bridges. Save on a fun Victoria, BC getaway during FRS Clipper Spring Sale. Clipper Fast Ferry Plus 2 nights hotel up to 20% off at frsclipper.com. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Nothing but sunshine today. Highs in the mid to upper 60s this afternoon. Low 70s on Thursday and Friday. And sunny. Right now 60 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. The music you're hearing right now is Cyndi Lauper. Goonies are gonna. What's the name of this song? It's Goonies are gonna be all right. Goonies are good enough.
Yeah.
That movie is so classic. I love it so much. It's such a huge part of my childhood. Was this one that was big for you, Spike?
Oh, absolutely. It's perfect. It's a perfect youth and child adventure movie. It's wonderful.
It is perfect.
It's about coming of age. It's about holding on to your dreams. It's about growing up.
It's also so cool because if you grew up in the area where we grew up, well, actually, you didn't grow up here. But
I didn't grow up here, no.
But you did raise a family here.
Yeah, I did.
This is what it looks like around here. Astoria, where they filmed that movie, where Steven Spielberg made that movie, looks exactly like what we see every day when we drive around. And so it is really cool. You have that movie here. When I was a kid, I would go around looking for pirate treasure because I watched it on Goonies, and it was very exciting. Anyway, I'm really excited to welcome right now to the show James Pierce Connolly, Emmy Award-winning designer who has got a really, really cool job and a really, really big task ahead of him as he tries to revamp the Walsh House. James, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. This is really cool to talk about. It is a really cool job.
How did you get into this? And can you tell the audience what you're going to be doing with the original Goonies house in Astoria, which a lot of people have made the pilgrimage to? I've gone to it. Spike, I know you've gone and seen it.
I've got so many friends who make a special trip, plan a vacation. I've got family from the East Coast that came out here. Are we close enough to go to the Goonie house?
Isn't that funny?
And it was, so I'll make a day trip out of this for you. I'll take you to the beach. You bet.
Fantastic. So, James, how did you get involved in this, and what are you going to do?
Sure. Yeah, of course. And obviously, like, I've been up there, and I'm going back literally in a couple of days. Everybody is going. There are so many Goonies walking up that little hill to see the house. It's amazing. I am a production designer. I work in LA. I live in LA. I have a little design studio. It's about 8 of us. And I do television mostly. We do events and we do other little things here and there. And I got linked up with this guy named Bayman Zachary. He owns the Goonies house. And through a friend of a friend, he was looking for a production designer, someone who does TV scenery, to renovate, or I guess you'd call it like sort of restore the house back to the way it was in the movie. And I don't know how many people he spoke to, but the moment I talked to him, we just hit it right off. We were quoting the movie, and like, I'm listening to you guys chit chat. Like, I grew up on the Jersey Shore, and for me, it was so relatable. The house it's the first bit of the movie, and it's like, it's all you can remember is like you were at the Boondocks as a kid, and
100%.
It's the most relatable, family, friends there is. And so, it was a love connection between he and I, and now I'm I'm in it.
So how are you going to, so you guys are actually going to try to recreate down to the finest detail, right? Like the interior of this house. And is the idea that then he's going to open, because when I went, there was a sign that said all Goonies welcome, or whatever the sign was.
Yeah.
And kind of a silhouette, that famous silhouette of all the Goonies standing there with Chunk.
Yeah.
And you could get a picture, but they didn't want you coming up onto the porch.
It was a private home.
It's a private home.
Yeah.
So this guy purchased the house. Is the idea that he wants to welcome people into the house so they can tour around?
I think, yes, there is a plan. I think eventually he's going to release the plan. For me, I'm restoring it back to every single detail. And I'm not messing around. Like, I've spoken to the original creators. I've spoken to Rick Carter, who is the art director. He's a designer on Jurassic World, all these big movies. I spoke to Linda DeSena, the woman who decorated the whole house top to bottom. I asked them where they got everything, where did things come from. And I'm also, even though I'm a Goonies fan, I'm not like a super fan. There are also some incredible, super duper fans out there that know every detail. Sure, I've like screen grabbed everything and like looked at it. But if you just poll the audience, guys, and ask people what they think the little objects are, you'll be blown away. I've learned so much about the movie, and now I know all about the Walshes and sort of the story of them and why they live in this house, et cetera, just from talking to people about it. There isn't any official history of it. There's no prequel or anything, so I'm kind of making up a little bit here and there based on my research. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to the detail, and I genuinely think Bayman's going to cry when he sees it. It's pretty great.
So how's it going to work out? I mean, like my wife watches a lot, and then I also, because she's watching them. A lot of these interior design shows where there's like a big reveal. Is the owner of the house? Is he staying away until you finish the project? So he's going to come in and have like a big thing.
So wait, guys, right now, we're in the thick of it. Like, we're down to a couple weeks left. It's being finished by June 7th, which is Goonies weekend. It's a big party, I guess, in Astoria, 40th anniversary, blah, blah, blah. You can go to a website, see all the events. He has a VIP cocktail party opening they've announced that, opening up for some VIP ticketed members. From there, then he'll talk about what he's going to do for the house from there. But I did tell him about a month ago, because Bayman and his family, they live in Kansas City. He's a trading card collector. It was coming along so good.
Of course.
When I was there.
I love it. Perfect.
I know, right?
This guy's got a great life.
Right? I know. He's basically One-Eyed Willie, guys. Like, he buys himself gold. Like, he's like the GOAT of clients.
Oh, that's great.
I called him and I was like, Bayman, I know that like this is just like a designer-homeowner relationship. Like, you can come over anytime, whatever. You can see this. But I said, I just need to be there when you come in for the first time. Like, I just need to have that reveal moment. It's not being we're not like going to do anything like extreme home makeover.
Oh, please record it. No, record it, man.
You could sell this to Netflix, pay for the whole project.
Spike's daughter's getting married this weekend. You're describing a first look right now. This is what you're missing.
Look. He's a bit of bridezilla too. So I mean, like, it's a little bit of here and there, but like it is. I need that. So I am going to see him next week, and I'll get my phone footage, and we'll make a thing of it. I'm sure.
2 questions for you. Are any of the original cast coming back? I mean, I know that they've stayed pretty involved, and I mean, they do a lot of fan stuff. I know there's all these different conventions and stuff. So are any of them coming back for this weekend?
I mean, what I will say is that people are making a big deal of this. There are lots of people talking about what they can do on Goonies weekend, and I will say Corey Feldman did tweet out like a couple of days ago that he is coming up for Goonies weekend and he will be in the house.
Nice.
So,
and his band's available if you need a band. God, that guy, I know. Well, this house funny. Is a national treasure.
It is.
And I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. It's a national treasure.
I'm so happy it's still there.
I am too, and I so much appreciate the care and the professionalism you're bringing. No pressure to make this house live up to our golden memory of this story and this time in all of Americans' lives.
James, is there any place that we can send our audience if they want to go and look up some of this stuff and follow on this? Is there a website you want us to plug?
I post regularly on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm talking to the audience, and I'm asking for help. So go to my Instagram, which is JP Connolly, Connelly, or TikTok, which is JP Connolly 1.
Fantastic. And then final question, this is a selfish one. You mentioned the VIP thing. Like, how do we at least put in a request to get some tickets to that? Can we just send you
GooniesWeekend.com, but we can sidebar and chat.
All right, we'll sidebar after
you're
this.
the best.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll valet park the cars. I'll do that.
Yeah, sure. You can drive on the beach there. Just park them on the beach.
I love it.
James, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Best of luck. We can't wait to see the end result, and good luck, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
Hey there, there, I'm Chris Sullivan, traffic reporter for KIRO News Radio. The favorite part about my job is helping you get answers to your traffic questions.
Will this construction ever end?
How do you zipper merge?
Just how close is tailgating?
Now I need your help. What burning questions do you have? What should I be looking into? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text choke points to 888-973-5476. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the star of my next Choke Points story. Presented by Carter Subaru.
Hi, Spike O'Neill for Integrity Roofing and Construction. You know, Integrity Roofing and Construction truly live up to their name. Their incredibly professional team comes in my house, gave us an assessment, and when we decided to pull the trigger and put a new roof on our home, I could not be happier with the professionalism and the quality of work that they do. Unbelievable. But they're a completely integrated roofing construction company with their own in-house design department. They can make sure that the investment you make in your home and you get the most out of it, and it makes your home look the most beautiful and last the longest. The ROI is incredible. 206-202-ROOF is the phone number, 206-202-ROOF, or online at integrityrc.com.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Right now, have ultra-efficient, clean technology windows installed and pay zero down with zero interest and zero payments for 18 months. Only from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. And they'll even pay your sales tax. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
From groceries to home prices, the cost of living in Washington state keeps going up. Now, Olympia politicians are proposing the largest tax increases in state history. Don't be fooled. If taxes go up, we'll all pay even more. Washington needs lower costs, not higher taxes. Tell the politicians no by visiting www.affordablewashington.org. Paid for by the people for an affordable Washington. Top 5 contributors are Washington Alliance for a Competitive Economy, Microsoft, Madrona, T-Mobile, and Amazon.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I've always been a super athletic guy, but after I turned 40, I noticed I was slowing down. Instead of hitting the gym after work, I spent my evenings on the couch with a bag of chips. I was gaining weight, losing muscle, and when I did try to work out, I ran out of energy right away. One of my buddies suggested I book a free testosterone check at Revive Health, and that's when I learned that low T doesn't just impact how guys perform in the bedroom. I worked with a provider to create my custom treatment plan, and today I'm feeling stronger than ever. Last week, I even set a new PR at the gym. My only regret is not reaching out sooner.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com or call 206-529-1111. Again, that's 206-529-1111.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at proscope.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's proscope.com.
When the heat's an 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Beat the rush.
Act now before summer.
Because that heat's a real bummer.
Dayandnight.net.
This is the time to plan ahead so you stay cool this summer. Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Now save $50 off our pre-summer AC tune-up. Dayandnight.net.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Safety first comes with available financing at Bucky's Complete Auto. For oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, wiper blades, and factory maintenance, check the Bucky's near you at Bucky's.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Welcome back to the show. Man, it was fun talking to that Goonies guy. That was so cool. If you missed that interview, if you guys are just tuning in, we just talked to an Emmy award-winning, he's a TV set designer. So his job is to get the really fine details for realism and to make it look authentic. And he's been brought in to restore the Goonies house to the original movie production quality.
He's seeking a perfect recreation. Of our favorite memory of one of our all-time favorite movies.
While also bringing it up to 2025 code, because the house is actually built in 1896.
Yeah, and it's
a very old house.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal that it's still there.
Yes.
Even in the movie, think of this. They picked a house in the movie that was very cinematic looking. It looked almost like the Norman.
Oh, the Norman Bates. Yeah.
It looks like the Norman Bates house,
kind of, yeah.
but on a hill. It's not supposed to look nice because it's in a tear-down neighborhood.
Exactly. This whole movie was about this neighborhood's going to be teared down and developed.
For a golf course.
For rich people.
Yeah.
And the Goonies.
How do you save it?
Right.
So the house is still standing after all these years. People like Spike and myself have made the pilgrimage. We've gone to see it. It's fantastic. It's really fun. So we just talked to this guy. So go back and listen to that interview. But I want to play you a clip from the movie because everybody was asking about this.
This is a magic opportunity.
This is a magic opportunity. And it gives us the opportunity to listen to Sean Astin's speech. This little Mikey Walsh.
Don't you realize? The next time you see Sky, it'll be over another town. The next time you take a test, it'll be in some other school. Our parents, they want the best of stuff for us. But right now they gotta do what's right for them. 'Cause it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here. That's all over the second we ride up Troy's bucket.
Oh,
Sean Astin.
Give that kid an Oscar right there, baby.
Awesome. And that man could act. Sean Astin might be, pound for pound, he might be my favorite actor of all time.
Oh, is that a fat joke? He's gotten big.
Well,
he's Rudy. He's not just Mikey. He's Rudy.
He's Mikey.
He's Samwise.
He's Samwise
right?
Gamgee.
Now I'm with you.
He's Rudy.
One of the most
Name another actor.
Right?
Is he underrated? I don't think so.
Well,
I rate him highly.
Maybe unappreciated for the true. And he got
on my house.
You ever see Stranger Things?
He's like the stepdad in Stranger Things. His mom's boyfriend, but maybe not stepdad.
Well, we're talking about Astoria, right? And we're talking about the Goonie House and its impact, and the fact that people are already pilgrimaging.
Traveling to.
Sorry, English, my second language.
I don't know what the word is.
Pilgrim. I can't. Even with practice, I can't do it.
Traveling
I'm excited.
Visiting.
This is an opportunity for Astoria, Oregon, to live up to this opportunity of Goonies
sure.
And the Goondocks. And how many people wouldn't make it a vacation destination?
I did.
To go see. Is there an underground tour?
Could you walk around inside? Imagine being able to walk around inside the Goonies house.
Well, and Laura was saying that Mr. Conley has there's plans maybe to make an Airbnb opportunity where you can go spend the night.
I'd do it
in the Goonie house.
In a second.
I told Laura I want to get a sleeping bag and camp out in the attic.
Well, that's where all the cool stuff is.
That's where all the cool stuff is.
Yeah, you're right.
For one, Willie's map was.
Question: when somebody goes and visits a house to get in the front gate, are you gonna have to do the truffle shuffle? Do you think people are gonna do that?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, of course you're gonna do it. You have to.
If I would put on weight just before my pilgrimage, so I could do a good truffle shuffle, right?
There you go.
I'm telling you.
Laura, you've really got to see some movies for crying out loud. You're just silent over there because she hasn't seen the film.
I haven't seen it.
Well,
I'll watch it.
I blame myself for that. I should have.
Did you grow up? You grew up in England for a few years, right? You were born there.
Yeah.
Until you were 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah, until I was like 4. Yeah.
And then you came here. You came to the Pacific Northwest, and your parents didn't show you Goonies.
No.
Is your parents from here? Where are your parents from?
They're from the Midwest.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I still think that they would have seen it. They would have seen the Goonies.
Hey, man, you and I are very cinematic in our life and our origin story is very cinematic.
Yeah, but the Goonies.
What are you doing this weekend,
the
Laura?
Goonies. Yeah, you need to watch the Goonies.
Yeah.
And you need to watch Rudy.
Yeah.
Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Okay.
I only watched it a few years ago with a couple of friends. We'd all never seen it. So we were like, let's do this.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like Lord of the Rings, you're going to like Goonies.
You're not even going to recognize.
No, you won't. Actually, no, you will. He looks the exact same.
He does, just smaller.
Yeah, just
with a
bit thinner around the middle. Yeah, he's a little thinner.
He's
a little
awesome.
thinner. He's cuter.
Anyway,
he's cuter.
Sorry to go off on that. I love that movie, and I love this. I love that this house is being not just saved but fully restored.
Me too.
And I hope Astoria embraces this opportunity.
Are we actually going to try to go down there for that?
Hell yeah, bro.
Should we go? I think it'd be super fun.
You bet.
I'd go.
Those VIP tickets, you want to know how much they cost?
How much are they?
$2,500.
A piece?
A piece. A pop.
Yeah, but we already talked about it, and he already said
You guys
he'd
are
hook us
friends,
up.
right?
We're friends
Friends
now.
and family discount.
We're the largest media outlet to that house. We're bigger than Portland.
Yeah, for sure.
We can help this. We can promote this.
We'll promote the heck out of it.
We don't have to have any VIP tickets. You know what I'm saying? I'm covering my payola.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't want anything
We
for
expect
free.
nothing in return.
We don't expect anything.
We're bringing the audience the stories they want to hear.
100%. Absolutely. We don't expect anything.
That'd be good enough.
But I would love to go. I would love to go if we can make that happen. All right, we got a lot more coming up. I'm so excited about this. Brock Heward. Brock Heward's going to join us next. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Him in the building. I just love it.
He's a great guy. He's everybody's best friend. He said Brock Heward's like everybody's cooler older brother. Isn't that what he have that? Doesn't he have that vibe?
Well,
just a cool older brother,
cool younger brother,
or cool younger brother.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, there you go. He's just a cool guy. He's just a cool bro. All right, we'll be right back. Stick around.
Are you looking at diversification and stability with your investment portfolio, especially with the volatility right now in the stock market? Hi, I'm Scott Rierecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given market conditions. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Legacy's Northwest Fund also accepts IRA accounts as well. Find out why over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Get in touch with us today. Legacy's Northwest Fund returning 9% has limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
It's time. The new phase of premium view lots at Natchez RV Resort is open. Don't miss your opportunity to get first pick. Ty, tell us about it.
Our new phase features incredible extra-large RV lots with amazing unobstructed views. And talk about privacy, nothing will be developed behind them. And these lots start at just $80,000.
Natchez RV Resort has 300 days of sunshine and year-round family fun. Pickleball, playground, dog park, miles of recreational trails. Plus, you have fishing, hunting, skiing, and golf nearby. And don't forget wine tasting. Yakima Valley has been voted the #1 best wine region in the U.S.
Natchez RV Resort also features a 4,300 square foot clubhouse with gourmet kitchen, great room, fitness center, showers, and laundry. Plus, the brand new saltwater swimming pool and hot tub are open and ready for you.
Get your perfect pick of Natchez RV Resort's premium view lots, starting at just $80,000. Reserve your showing now. 800-422-6009. 800-422-6009. NatchezRVResort.com.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Marvin window specialists who have been trained by Marvin to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The president's under growing pressure to let the steam out of his tariffs war. The CEOs of Walmart and Target warned Trump Monday his tariffs on Chinese goods could lead to empty store shelves in a matter of weeks. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
48 hours later, we're hearing a new message from this president expressing a lot of optimism that this is all going to get taken care of very quickly.
Not soon enough for many industries, as Allison Keyes reports.
At the Port of Long Beach, CEO Mario Cordero says the Trump tariffs are causing a drop in ship traffic.
The fundamental view from a Port Authority perspective, less cargo volume, less jobs.
He says most imports come from China and there's a ripple effect.
1 in 9 jobs come in the region of Greater Los Angeles are from the port complex.
Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Longtime Illinois Senator Dick Durbin said today he won't be running for re-election. After 4 decades, he says it's time for others to serve. And analyst Larry Sabato believes his seat will very likely be filled by another Democrat.
There are already a half a dozen Democrats lining up. There'll probably be more because open Senate seats don't come around very often anywhere, and particularly not in Illinois.
Durbin is part of a Senate leadership that has been in place for almost 2 decades, along with leader Chuck Schumer. The Vatican says 20,000 people have viewed the body of Pope Francis today and paid their respects. CBS's Nora O'Donnell is in Rome.
The wait, we are told, is about 4 hours, but one woman told us Catholics will wait however long it takes, stop what they're doing to thank Pope Francis for, in her words, changing the church.
A planned meeting in London to discuss the war in Ukraine didn't happen today. Top U.S. negotiators weren't there. The White House admits President Trump is frustrated, even though J.D. Vance indicated a deal could still be reached.
I think that we've put together a very fair proposal. We're going to see if the Europeans, the Russians, and the Ukrainians are ultimately able to get this thing over the finish line.
Ukraine's president has already said allowing Russia to keep Crimea is a non-starter. Millions of Americans are still falling for online scams, as Matt Piper reports.
Scammers stole a record $16.6 billion last year. The FBI says that is a 33% increase from the year before. More than 250,000 complaints reported money lost to a scam, with an average loss of more than $19,000. Those over the age of 60 fell for scams the most and lost the most money, on average $83,000. Investment scams were the top cause of loss, though many also lost money from romance scams.
The Dow finished up 400 points. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Coming up, a teenage hate crime suspect heads to court, but first we go to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report is brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. We start on I-5 northbound in Shoreline. This is just north of Northeast 175th Street. A collision blocking the left lane, looking at about a 1-mile backup, and a 30-minute drive now from Seattle to Linwood. SR 167 southbound, just south of SR 516, a collision blocking the left lane. Expect some backups getting through downtown Kent. Right now, Renton to Puyallup is about a 50-minute drive. And 405 southbound, just south of Coal Creek Parkway, a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane. It is thick and slow going out of downtown Bellevue. Rest of the map, we're right about average for this time of day. Safety First comes with no credit financing at Bucky's Complete Auto for oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, wiper blades, and factory maintenance. Check the Bucky's near you at buckys.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A teenager who is charged with committing a hate crime in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood pleads not guilty today. Prosecutors charged that 17-year-old and 2 adults with attacking people outside an LGBTQ bar. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has the latest.
King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office spokesperson Casey McNerthney says back in February, the 3 suspects circled the block 10 times outside the bar, yelling anti-gay slurs at people and firing a water bead gun.
When you have a criminal action, in this case assault, that is done because of the perception of the victim's sexual orientation, under state law, that's a hate crime.
The 2 other suspects, a 19 and 24-year-old, pleaded not guilty during their arraignments last week. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's mayor is asking voters to renew an education levy. Bruce Harrell announced the Every Child Ready initiative this morning.
My proposal is for a 6-year, $1.3 billion renewal of the Family's Education Preschool Promise, and every one of our kids and every one of our families are worth every penny of that.
Levy would expand city funding for preschool, daycare, and tuition to city colleges for those who qualify. If passed, this would cost the average Seattle homeowner about $650 a year. A House committee is expected to supercharge the gas tax bill. KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich explains it is packed full of new tax increases.
The House rewrite of the Senate bill includes a 6-cent a gallon gas tax increase and a laundry list of other tax hikes on vehicle weights, registrations, luxury cars and planes, and fee increases for driver's licenses, ferry fares, rental cars, including peer-to-peer rentals like Turo, and increased fines from speed cameras, and an unusual new tax like a $1 per head transportation fee for anyone attending an event in a stadium that holds 17,000 people or more. The bill's on a fast track for passage before the session ends this Sunday. Matt Markovich, KIRO News Radio.
The Carbon River Bridge in Pierce County is now permanently closed. The single-lane bridge is over 100 years old. It gave access to Mount Rainier. Washington's Transportation Department shut it down last week after it announced steel supports on that bridge are deteriorating. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny today with highs in the mid-60s. Right now 61 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, if you have missed out on any of our earlier 2 hours, the first 2 hours, we've had a great show today. Lots of fun stuff. The Goonies guy was fantastic. Go back and listen to that. Do yourself a favor and get the podcast. If you're not already listening to the podcast, you're not already downloading it for free, subscribe to it. It's easy to do. Another fun thing that people are doing is they are subscribing to our Jake and Spike YouTube page. You can watch us live during the show, or you can wait until the show ends, and then you can watch the whole show right there. Camera never turns off. You get to see our beautiful faces for 3 hours. It's a ton of fun, so we highly recommend it. All right, we got really excited because, Spike, you heard Brock Heward in the building today talking out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, we got to get that guy on the show.
Well, first off, I love his voice. I love him on game days, on
Great
college
voice.
football Saturdays. I love it. I heard him talking to one of our coworkers, and I said, we got
get him in here.
Got to roll this guy on our show.
And luckily, we have a show, and he's here. So let's get him on. Brock Heward, welcome to the show.
Good to see you, boys. Yeah, fun time of year. I would not miss the draft, right? I'm here for the NFL draft.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, my wife, I was getting on the plane the other day, and she said, is it still, you enjoy it? I'm like, the draft is awesome. The draft,
it's when dreams come true.
It really is. It is where hope in the NFL, man, there are a lot of things, but they are a marketing machismo.
Oh, absolutely. They turn that into one of the biggest events.
They have. Yeah. Like when I was drafted, and I get flashbacks, so it's kind of surreal for me to do this. And obviously was drafted to the Seahawks. I'll be in their facility tomorrow, different facility in 1999.
Wow.
But honestly, I can remember every detail of that morning.
What was it like? Like, walk us through what that was like for you.
Well, I knew I was not going to get drafted high. And in those days, it was only Saturday, Sunday. It wasn't Thursday primetime, Friday primetime, Saturday. It was just Saturday, Sunday. And so I knew I wasn't going to go early. And so I just wanted to sleep through. That year, 5 QBs went in the first round. And my stock had gone from first round to, second, third round. So I tried to stay up all night, like 2 a.m, to try to sleep till noon.
Oh my gosh.
And it didn't work.
No kidding.
I still woke up, I have to watch this. And there, Cade McNown, Dante Culpepper, Keely Smith, all these guys that I knew all get drafted. And I mean, honestly, we could spend a half an hour walking through the entire details of it because I remember every bit of it. But most importantly, or the one that was just the hardest, was before cell phones. So they had your home number. That's what they call it. And we made it very clear to family and friends. I was back in Puyallup and everything else, like, don't call the home. Please do not call the home. And, right about the time that I was thinking I was going to go to Baltimore in the second round, my grandfather, Opa, calls. And Opa has been sitting at his home waiting for me. Why haven't you been picked? What's going on? Like, I was so mad. I don't think I've ever been more mad at Oma and Opa. Like, slam the phone, do not call back.
Oh, my gosh.
And then waited, and then the Seahawks called. I think it's 77. It's pretty special, man. Lots of neat memories.
What was that? I mean, you probably have added this in after the fact, but do you remember when you heard the phone trilling on the thing where you're just like, oh my gosh, that's the phone. This is the call.
Yeah, kind of had a sense. So,
it's Opa again.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Grandma.
If this is Opa, I'm going to come and just send you back to Holland, for crying out loud, to the Netherlands. So, no, I kind of had a sense that it was like Baltimore in the second, and then there was Chicago and Seattle, and these teams you visited and worked out with, much like the kids tomorrow night will have somewhat of a sense, but you still don't fully know because it's like the market. You don't know where the market's going to go and where's going to be a run on this or that. Had a little sense. And then, when we got near Seattle and got that phone call, it was for all of the stress and chaos, and you'll feel that tomorrow night, and you'll see it in the parents and everything else. Like, there's so much that goes into this. And then when that call finally comes, like, wow.
Just relief,
exhortation, excitement, hope, right? It really is. Like, tomorrow night is hope. And the NFL is so good and has mastered this skill of presenting. We see it in politics too. Like, if you can really present hope, it can be such a empowering emotion. And the NFL
it's
is
fuel of dreams.
It's
really
exactly
is.
What it is. And to see it all in real time and in real life, and to watch these kids and the families, coach, all the people that go into it, pretty neat payoff.
That's why it's the greatest show on earth, man.
It is.
Can I ask you a question about that? I mean, we're talking about that's the highest level, but these guys all started out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coaching my son's flag football team right now. I mean, it's like a lot of these kids, I'm coaching 9 and 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
And this, for a lot of them, and just like their coach, this is their first experience in organized football. And it's actually through the NFL. The NFL does this because it's a massive outreach. Yeah. You have a lot of kids who aren't going into tackle football anymore. They're like, well, we still want to develop the talent.
Yep.
We want them to be experienced and to get a taste for football and to love it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they send everybody cool jerseys and cool flags with NFL stamps, which the kids just go wild for.
Yes.
So they're all excited and everything, and they're loving it, and it's really fun. It's just the best experience. And it's such a fun time of football, but there is this thing that's happening. So my son is 10, and a few of his friends were talking about what's next season look like. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be playing again in the flag football league? Or are you going to go to the tackle league and start developing those skills? And my wife and I are just like, what are we going to do? Because we have asked that question. And a lot of our friends' parents, too, were like, are we going to let our kids play tackle football? Is that even a thing we should be concerned about?
Yep.
Are we overreacting to what we've seen in the news?
Sure.
What's your feel on that?
Yeah, a couple things I would say. Number one, NFL, again, marketing brilliance. No, the worst thing is kids start playing at 8 or 9 and little Johnny gets hit in the face and gets smacked and hurts himself and doesn't like pain and quits football. So let's not do that. Let's have flag football as long as we
There you
can.
go. Great.
You know, I would say the other thing is there's just some kids that are wired for it. They are just the kid that jumps off the 5th stair and to see if they can land on their face, right? They're just wired that way. The football coach at the high school, his son, I met his 2 boys, like, yeah, that one could start playing. That one just is just kind of built for it. And others take a little more time. The other really important thing is just body control, like bigger kids especially. If they, my son fit into this. Like I think he may have wanted to play earlier. I'm like, no, it's not beneficial for you because you don't have the coordination and the body control, and you're so long and like, just keep playing baseball and basketball and flag football. And then, 7th grade, when I played, Damon played, Peyton Manning played, Eli Manning played, Matt Hasselbeck. Like, no, about 6th, 7th grade, to me, is kind of the point where I think you can start to get in the pads and protect yourself.
See, that's encouraging to know because there is this pressure when
Sure.
you start to see all the other kids going. And I'm thinking the same thing. Like, these guys are still learning how just to catch the ball.
And just wait, Jake. Just wait.
Yeah, it's you call it body control.
Yes, that's super important.
And the other sports give them that too.
Just wait for the pressures to only begin. Like, seriously, you guys overheard a conversation I was having with Matt Pittman and our imaging director who's back here. And Matt was here 16 years ago when we started the sports station and everything else. And I just said, these high school years for my boy, these are the best years. The best years. The school just retired Christian McCaffrey's jersey. He went to Valor Christian out in Colorado.
Wow.
And the head coach recruited him to Stanford as a running back. And so they had a relationship and really good move on his part, marketing, to be like, you know what, let's celebrate our star and let's get your jersey retired. You're the best to ever do it here. And he came back and really messaged that to the high school football team. Like, you got to understand, this is as good as it gets.
Well, you and I heard you say that because after the high school level, the fun is gone.
It becomes so transactional. It's just torn apart the fabric of community, of team, and it's the pressure. And I said, like 10 years old, like appreciate this because all of a sudden the next pressure is we got to do travel baseball. The next pressure is we got to play AAU basketball. Ugh. The next pressure is we got to play tackle football. We got to do strength and conditioning. We got to go see this. Like it starts then. And then from about 10, 11, 12, all the way making those decisions and got to stick to one sport. And Salky and I talk about this a bunch, because he got to watch my kids do this. And now his youngest daughter is really into sport. And he's starting to fight this battle against this youth sports just specialization. And he's like, I hate it.
Like, what do you
There's
do?
no answer. It's the 5th rail. There's no answer.
Well, you said keep it fun,
get
right?
caught
If you
up in
can. Is that the Holy Grail? Keep it fun for the kid?
You can. But you know what's not fun? What's not fun, Spike, is when my skill level is not as good as my friends.
Yeah.
Because they are working at that. And all of a sudden they make the team and I don't make the team.
You're totally right.
So it all sounds great.
Killer.
Yeah, right. Hey, man, just keep it fun. We had a family member that did that. Like, hey, just keep it fun. We're not going to be in this pressurized environment. We're going to say no to all that crap.
Yeah, but nothing fun about getting cut, man.
In junior high, didn't make the team. And like never caught up. So it's just this race. This pressure.
So you were saying all these guys, you mentioned yourself,
Eli, Peyton.
Didn't even start playing until 7th grade.
Yeah.
So you just play other sports. You just it's about body control.
Yes.
It's about just getting used to being athletic and getting
100%.
comfortable in your own skin.
100%. Chatted with this skipper at Oklahoma State, Holiday. Matt Holiday's brother is the skipper there. And we were back there, and Titus, my son, loves baseball too. And went through their facility and was chatting with them. And actually my father-in-law. So here's the whole spectrum. Here's Larry at 79 that pitched at Oregon against Reggie Jackson and didn't even have a pitching coach. Didn't even lift a weight. Didn't do anything back
just
then.
Natural skill.
There's just no coaching back then. There was no facility. Like, just pick up the ball and figure it out yourself. And now you fast forward and you look at Titus, who honestly, when he comes and watches, he's like, wow, at like 10, 11, he's doing stuff that I didn't do ever in college. Like, we never tracked this stuff. We never had, body physiology. Like, what are we doing here? But the skipper there at Oklahoma State said, what's amazing is all of these one sport guys, they can throw it, man. They can throw that fastball 90. Their velo's so fast, but they have no adaptability. They're robots. That one skill is so good. But when I ask them to, hey, let's do this. Can we, in the old days, he's like, guys that shot a basketball, guess what they could do? They could throw a changeup because they knew how to manipulate or how to spin a basketball or how to, do all these different things that you learn from different sports.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Were you a multi-sport guy?
Yes.
What was
football,
your
basketball, baseball?
Just everything.
Yep. Love baseball. And looking back, it would have been fascinating if I would have stayed with baseball longest. I was the first one I cut off, football, basketball, all the way through high school.
Do you think that athletic talent means that you can be successful in almost any of the sports that you're trying? I mean, like if you had wanted to play baseball at a high level, do you think you could have?
I think baseball could have. Basketball, there's a limit to just your athleticism. You're jumping. Like those guys are just different.
Genetic lottery
Genetic
winners.
different level. Baseball, being left-handed as I was and long and all that stuff, there was some inherent advantage there.
Were you a pitcher?
I was a pitcher.
What was your speed?
Oh, gosh. Well, I stopped that in 7th grade. So, again, there was no speeds back
High
then.
80s.
Yeah.
7th grade. Yeah.
I don't even think, honestly, Jake and Puyallup in the 80s, was there even a radar gun? No.
Yeah, the cops had the only one in
Yes.
town.
So you're not measuring any of
Just
that.
running against the cops.
So
That's
just enjoy this moment. Fight the battle as best you can to not over-specialize. To understand that my son or my daughter's skill may not be as good at 10, 11, but the body control, the athleticism, the competitive grit, the tenacity, all those things you learn from playing multiple and playing with other teammates and other parents and dealing with all that stuff.
That's it.
There's
That's it for my family, because my kids
Yes.
were never gifted athletes, but my kids, I insisted they all play team sports to learn about teamwork, accountability,
people,
disappointment,
Yes.
people. Yes, seriously.
People skills.
These skills that my kids have carried through their entire lives.
Yep.
And it matters.
And now another wedding day.
Our first of our family this Saturday. Thanks for reminding me. I had 10 seconds of peace, not thinking about the wedding. No, it's my oldest gets married this Saturday.
Walking down the aisle.
Our first
Father of the bride.
Father of the bride. I got the song picked out. I won't say it on air because I don't want my kid to hear about it. And I know
It's the first dance song.
First dance, father-daughter dance song. I'll tell you off
sweet.
air. I'm so proud of myself on this one. I'm crying now. Stop it. I've been practicing my speech to just make it through without bawling.
He YouTubed how to dance. He knows how to dance now, so he's good to go.
Wow.
My apologies to Arthur Murray.
I had a coach tell me this year, a neat guy. He's an offensive coordinator in college football, been in different spots and known him for a long time. And his daughter, his first, got married last summer. And he said, you just wait. He said, you think like these birthdays, turn 40, I'll be 50 next year. Like you think those things hit you? Nothing hits you like that.
Thank you.
He said the week after, he was literally like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because now I know now I'm in the second phase or third phase. Like it's one of those moments.
Spike's super, he's obviously got a big heart. You can see it, but not like an unhealthy level, but like he's got a good heart. You can tell he's going to get emotional.
Oh, yeah.
I have been practicing in the car and I can't make it through the practice.
Yeah.
But I'll get there.
Let me harden your heart 1 second and bring it back to one thing. I'm having this discussion a lot right now with some like fellow coaches and friends and stuff of dads who all have kids in sports. My wife was a really good athlete in high school. I was not. I was a fair athlete. I played baseball and it was fine, but like I didn't have that extra thing that some kids have. One of my kids is very athletic and also has kind of a killer instinct. Other ones, I have not recognized it yet. So what I'm wondering to you is, and my wife had a killer instinct. She was very good. I did not.
Okay.
I remember the moment where I recognized in high school that I don't have it, which sucks when you're a sophomore and you love baseball so much. But I remember being on the field and we were in practice and it was a kid's birthday. And somebody was like, oh, let him get a hit. He's a birthday. And he hit me a line drive and I could have jumped up and got it. I was right there. And I didn't fully extend it. I didn't grab it. And as I came back down, and you think I'm joking about this, but I'm not. As I came back down and I hit the ground and I'm just like standing there and he's rounding second, I thought to myself, that's the end of my career right there. Because if I had a killer instinct, I don't care that it's his birthday, I would have caught that ball. Because I care more about my success in sports than his stupid birthday. But my question to you is, can you teach the killer instinct? Or is that something that you're born with?
Boys or girls?
I have boys.
All boys.
I have all boys.
Okay. Because my wife would contend that in girls, and this is her own life experience, and she was a
great
athlete and ferocious competitor into college basketball. And she would contend, in our life experience with our two kiddos, would also verify this, that in younger ladies, very difficult. If they don't have it, very difficult to equip it and train
coach it into them.
Yep, they got it or they don't. Cecily Salk, she got it. Macy Hewer, she got it.
Yeah.
Your wife, she got it. And, the ones that don't, yeah, sure, you can always elevate, but you're never going to change that nature. That's been our life experience. That's been her feeling. I think boys are different. I think boys can be different.
Really?
Yeah, I think just because puberty is just such a difference maker.
It's chaos.
It's just
you don't feed them for a couple of days, they get hungry.
Yes. It's chaos. And you see, and now through enough life experience, I've seen, oh, yeah, Roger was amazing at 12, and he hit it early. And then all of a sudden, when the other ones got their jet boosters at 15 or 16, Dane Looker, whew, yeah, it's lights out.
So it just takes some time, maybe. You just don't.
Boys,
like maybe they don't
and
have
puberty
it yet,
is
but they'll
just,
get it.
yeah, I think that testosterone and that when that thing comes, it just impacts and affects differently. So I'm sorry at 15 you had low T. I'm really sorry about that, Jake. Yes, you know.
But
I still suffer from it.
It's a reckoning. You called it, man.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, that's Brock Heward from the Brock and Salk Show. It's great to see you, man. Thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure.
So fun. So fun. Sit in this studio, and we were chatting about it right before we started. I can't help but look at both of you, Jake, because for so many years you produced Dory. And, you know, had so much relationship there. And Spike, you were telling me off the air, just the reverence and the respect. And it's a peer
and the
in the
mentorship.
industry.
He would call me out and ask me how I was doing, what did I need, and how could he help?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. You guys feel it, I'm sure, in that studio quite often, feeling it, that connection piece to our lost friend, his beautiful wife, Suzanne, his daughter that's getting married this summer that we're going to go and celebrate. So
fantastic.
Yep. God bless you guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. God bless you right back.
That's why they call him the Godfather. Brock Heward. You're the best, buddy.
Good dude. There he goes. There goes Brock Heward.
His work's just getting started. It's draft day tomorrow, you know?
I know.
He's going to have the busiest couple days of his life.
Are you excited? Are you excited? We should ask him this before he left, but are you excited about the Seahawks' chances?
Absolutely.
Increase?
Yeah. I think they're on the up. They're on the come up.
I agree.
New skipper, not new, but the second year skipper.
It's fun to be starting fresh. It feels like a fresh start.
Yeah, and
it's like the start of a new school year.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
And we don't have to worry about the old guy because we can root against him now down at Oakland.
Heck yeah.
Right? Boom. Perfect.
All day.
Couldn't ask for any more.
All day, every day. All right. Speaking of old guys, Spike's going to walk his daughter down the aisle. We've been getting a lot of text messages in from the audience.
Nice. I appreciate this.
I was kidding. You're not old. But we've been getting a lot of texts in from the audience. And there's also there is a controversial new thing that people are doing at weddings. I would love your opinion on this.
Okay.
Cash bars. Do people like cash bars or do they just want an open bar? You might be surprised what young people are doing these days regarding cash bars. I'd love your opinion on this because you're about to host a wedding. You're paying for a wedding.
Yeah.
I'd love your take on this coming up next. Stick around. We're going to have all that right when we come back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
KIRO Newsradio, your home for the John Curley Show.
You take the money from the guy that made the money because somehow he doesn't deserve all of that money, and you give it to the government, and then they redistribute it to everybody. How is wealth created from that? It is never created. We are all richer because these people, they came up with some pretty cool ideas that we all benefit from. Most of these guys didn't set out to be billionaires, but they set out to do was solve a problem.
Find podcasts and more at mynorthwest.com.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through April 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended through April 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic is your best plan for long-term well-being and personalized health care. Dr. Mixon, let me ask you a question. How long have some of your patients been working with you?
And we've got patients now that have been with us for over 20 years that are in their 90s who came to us in their 60s. The grandparents now in their 90s are living independently. They're not on walkers. They're not on canes. They're not headed for nursing homes.
I meet people and they ask about, wow, you're in great shape. You have 12% body fat and stuff. What's the secret? I said, it's not a secret. Longevity Medical Clinic has been there for 25 years. There is no secret to the fact that if you make those small changes, you avoid the big, bad, horrible stuff that most of us just think, well, this is what's supposed to happen to me.
And if you're heading downhill and you don't change your direction, you're going to continue going downhill. And what we do at Longevity is we redirect you and we take you back up the hill.
So get your free health analysis. Go to LongevityMedicalClinic.com. That's LongevityMedicalClinic.com.
All right, keep up. It's me, the radar gun at T-Mobile Park. And these Mariners pitchers have me working overtime. 3 all-star aces, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, and George Kirby throwing absolute gas.
Holy smokes, what a performance. Strikeout number 10 on the night.
And don't forget about Bryce Miller and Brian Wu, the young guns. Those guys get me fired all the way up.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
And just when you think you've survived, here comes Andres Munoz dialing up triple digits and shutting the door. Oh boy, I'm giddy just thinking about it.
Back-to-back strikeouts, and the ball game is over.
Trust me, you're going to want to grab a seat and feel the speed for yourself. And there they go again. I got to make sure my batteries are charged. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Check out what's on deck at T-Mobile Park. Mother's Day weekend is coming up May 9th to 11th, and a Mariners game is the perfect place to celebrate. As part of the fun, the first 10,000 moms will score a clear purse on Sunday the 11th, thanks to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Then don't miss a showdown against the Yankees May 12th to 14th. Get your tickets at Mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We are learning more about how the growing U.S.-China trade war is now affecting Boeing. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch has the latest.
China has stopped taking delivery of Boeing airplanes. Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg.
We're in close communication with our China customers, and we're actively assessing options for remarketing already built or in-process airplanes.
Ortberg sounds confident they'll find other buyers for the 50 planes China ordered, but he says Boeing is talking with the Trump administration about the 145% U.S. tariff on Chinese goods that prompted China to add a 125% tax on the U.S. goods it imports. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
There is fresh optimism out of the White House of a de-escalation in the U.S.-China trade war. President Trump says every country wants to make a deal to lower tariffs.
Every country wants to partake, even countries that have ripped us off for many, many years. China is an example.
Beijing says the door to trade talks is wide open. As heard through a BBC interpreter, here's China's ministry spokesperson Guo Jiakun.
China's attitude towards the tariff war launched by the United States is very clear.
We do not wish to fight, but we are also not afraid of fighting.
For now, a 145% tariff on Chinese goods remains in effect. China has hit back with its own 125% tax on all U.S. imports. Seattle voters are being asked to renew the city's Democracy Voucher Program. Gives voters $25 vouchers to support candidates in local elections. Councilmember Dan Strauss.
It allows people without a network, a wealthy network, to be viable in their candidacy for public office. This means candidates don't need to be tied to special interests to win.
Voters will decide this August if they want to renew the program for $45 million over 10 years. It would cost the average Seattle homeowner about $13 a year in property taxes. Let's go now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk at 2:33. This report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Just cleared a crash on northbound I-5 in Shoreline at Northeast 185th. Still seeing some residual backups there out of downtown Seattle. 405 southbound still jammed up at a downtown Bellevue due to an earlier crash near Coal Creek Parkway. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, slow going as you approach downtown Kent. Was an earlier crash at 516. That has also cleared, but still some residual backups there. And road work on I-5 northbound at JBLM. This is near Center Drive. That is going on until further notice. Right now, lake bridges are in good shape, and Bellevue to Everett, that's taking you about 45 minutes. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny today, highs in the mid-60s, low 70s tomorrow and again on Friday. Right now, 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. We were talking earlier about Spike's daughters getting married in about 60 hours, whatever the time works out to be. It seems fast, but it is coming up, Spike.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to remember.
We were soliciting some advice from our audience. We were talking earlier also about some of our advice for folks. So if you guys want to listen, go back and listen on the podcast if you missed out on that. There's two things I want to talk about in this segment. One, there is a new debate raging about bars. Are you guys serving liquor or booze at the wedding?
There'll be a bar at the wedding, yeah.
Not a dry wedding. Good for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to be asking people to pony up at the bar and to pay for their own drinks? Because that's the thing now. A lot of weddings, they will actually use the bar as an opportunity to recoup some of the unbelievable costs of hosting a wedding these days. So they will actually say, like, hey, everybody gets 2 drink tickets when you come in, but if you want to drink more than that,
that's on you.
That's on you. What do you think about something like this, Spike?
Maybe I'm old school. But you don't ask anybody. You invite someone to a party. You don't make them. They never go into their pocket.
Boom.
Never.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me correct that. You put a massive tip jar, one of those big fishbowl size brandy snifters.
Sure.
And you seed that with some ducats, so the people know it's okay to tip your servers.
Yeah.
And the only time anybody should go in their pocket at a wedding is to tip the staff.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or to drop a check on the bride and groom. Boom. You know?
It's a gift to the bride and groom.
Yeah. No.
Do you think it feels kind of cheap for people to ask to pay at the bar?
I kind of do, and everyone has different circumstances. I understand it. There are limitations that couples can have for their big day, and there are other priorities that they want to put into place. Mm-hmm. The expense of an open bar is no small thing to a wedding.
Are you guys doing a signature cocktail? A lot of people do that.
A couple of them.
Everybody picks a cocktail, and then that will be, and it cuts down on costs because you don't have to have a full bar that everybody needs.
And there
are
other options as well, but there were a couple signature cocktails named after the 2 dogs in the family. I got to tell you, my kid and her dogs.
Nice.
John and my kids and their dogs. Sure. I'm getting used to that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the dogs' names? Can you share those with us?
Pippi and Gator.
Pippi and Gator.
Pippi's a princess. Gator's just a man about town.
Do you know what the drinks are? Just so the audience knows?
Pippi.
You're not going to tell anyone?
They put a lot of effort into this. Yeah, it's yeah.
Laura, what do you think of that? What do you think of a cash bar at a wedding?
I think it's tacky.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that I've seen a lot of this on Twitter or X and on TikTok, especially people. A lot of Gen Zers saying that if you have to have an open bar at your wedding, or your guests do, then they have a problem. They're alcoholics.
Have they ever been to a wedding? That's what a wedding is.
Here's the other thing, that the wedding is all about the couple and not at all about the guest experience.
Completely wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
That's
Have
so
you ever
foreign.
thrown a party in your life? / are you okay with everyone leaving your wedding at 8:00?
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen.
Because
You
it's
could learn the
dry
hard
and
way.
boring. And
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. These young people these days, these Gen Zers, critical of drinking at a wedding. That's why you go to weddings.
To enjoy yourself.
To enjoy
celebrate.
yourself. To let loose and to
Yep.
celebrate
Yep.
love. It's much easier to celebrate love if you have a little buzz going.
That's
For some
right.
people, not for everyone,
And
but for
to
some
meet,
people.
to meet the new in-laws.
Absolutely.
And I speak on behalf of my side of the family. We're a lot easier to take if you've had a couple cocktails.
I believe that.
The last thing I want is my future in-laws to meet us sober.
100%.
I don't want to have
I
that
totally
happen.
agree with
No
that.
one should ever have to go through that. No, it's gonna be great. And
Should we-
so many great, please.
Yeah, should we read some of this wedding advice? We've been getting a lot from folks. Laura, do you want to start us off here? This is people have texted in, or they've participated on the YouTube live page, chat box. Go for it, Laura.
Unicycle Mike says, on my wedding day, my parents ran out of gas on the way to the wedding. They missed our wedding ceremony, but they were there right after. So fill up the car or the motorcycle, Spike.
This is a preparation
I'm
thing,
writing
though.
this
You got to be
down.
prepared.
Make sure there's gas in
Fill gas
now,
tank.
It's the little things you forget. You lose sight of the day-to-day stuff, right? The nuts and bolts stuff.
Sure. Spike, you want to read one of these?
Oh, there's a couple I read here that I wish I hadn't because there's some horror stories in here. But no, most of them are very, very, very nice. 425 says, watch Father of the Bride tonight or tomorrow. The originals, and the second one was okay, but the original Steve Martin, Father of the Bride.
Well, the second one doesn't really apply.
Doesn't apply.
You got to watch that in a year.
Right. Okay. I have watched it, but it's been a while, and I'm going to watch it again because it really does. Art is the most sincere, imitation of life.
Sure.
And all the comedic points that Steve Martin brings up in this, and the entire cast, Diane Keaton, and it's so true to life, and it's
a beautiful movie.
a
lot of fun.
Yep.
Lots of
and
laughs.
It's a heartwarming.
Good times.
Yep.
Tom says, actually, no, Tom's is kind of long. We'll see if we can get to that. But Larry, the health inspector, says, appoint a couple of big guys to attend the wedding who have to remind guests who are getting out of hand, usually from booze. That's a really good idea. You could have, they're not like trying to ruin anybody's good fun, but you don't want somebody getting so out of hand with the drinking that they then ruin everybody else's good time. Like,
that's a very, very smart.
You don't want
piece of
somebody
advice.
getting handsy because they've had too many drinks.
Right.
Unless people want handsy. I don't know how weddings go. But that's a good idea. Appoint a couple of big guys just to go around, check in on everyone. Good idea.
Laura?
Let's see. John and Bonnie, this is great advice, said, when I got married at the reception, I, the groom, wanted a glass of water. I was being rushed around and introduced to people and whatnot, and I kept asking people for a glass of water. Everyone said sure, but nobody brought me one. Eventually, I fought my way up to the bar and got a glass of water. Lesson: now at any wedding, I approach the groom and ask if there's anything I can do for him. That's all.
That's great.
Isn't that nice?
That is really nice,
Oh.
yeah. I would also extend that if you can say that to the bride as well. Although I imagine bridesmaids and stuff, hopefully they're doing this already and they're helping. That's what a maid of honor is supposed to do. And
That's what a groomsman should do.
A groomsman should be doing,
and
checking
John's got some wonderful groomsmen. I'm going tonight to meet with the groomsmen and John.
Oh, I thought you meant John from Bonnie Lake, the guy who just sang the text in.
Oh, maybe John's my future son-in-law.
Okay, John, your future son-in-law has good groom. Yeah, so give him this
one really
advice.
hits home. Yeah.
Say, get a water.
I'll
for
make
John.
sure that we make sure that the groom is
Hydration,
catered to. Yeah.
absolutely. All right, Spike, pick another one of these.
I married off 3 daughters. Each had a different type of wedding. This is from Merle in Maple Valley. I married off 3 daughters. Each had a different type of wedding. I recommend cherishing the father-daughter dance. It's a wonderful way of closing the evening for you and memories formed that will be there forever and ever. And I couldn't agree with you more.
You still haven't told us what the song is.
No,
You're not going to tell.
I'm not going to tell you because
That's
I want her to hear it for the first time, and I don't expect her to last more than 5 seconds without bawling her eyes out. Boom, baby!
You're going to cry many times, but that's a good thing. That means you've done it right.
I got to stay hydrated. So I got enough
Gary in
tears.
Tacoma says, ask Spike what the over-under is for how many times he cries at the wedding.
Yeah.
3.5.
Should we place a bet on this?
This is 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah, the line's been drawn.
What is a half cry?
No, that way you can't have a push.
Oh, okay.
It's either if it's 3 or it's 4. If I only cry 3 times, the under wins. If I cry 4 times, then it's the over. Smart money is on the over.
I'll take that bet. I'll take the over.
You want the over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it over 3.5.
I like it.
I'll take the under. I think you're going to be so happy you forget to cry.
Sweet.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
She's She's local.
I grew up in Olympia.
She's experienced.
I've been very lucky to be in Seattle for 23 years.
Now, Manda Factor is home on KIRO News Radio.
This is where I want to be. It's where I've always wanted to be.
Experience matters. Experience for yourself. Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. Every morning 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hi, Spike O'Neill for Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. And I got to tell you, it's been about 5 months now since I had my refractive lens exchange at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. I just can't speak. I can see beautifully. I just can't speak. And the fact that I will never need readers and never develop cataract, that's just icing on the cake because the improved vision I have, the clarity, the colors, it's a whole new ballgame for me. I've got better vision now than I ever had at any time in my life. You know, I've been wearing readers for a few years, and I knew a problem was getting worse, not better. Went to the offices of Sharp Vision, Modern LASIK and Lens, had a comprehensive exam. They told me I had the beginning of cataract. I was a perfect candidate for RLE refractive lens exchange procedure. They answered all my questions, put me at ease, had the procedure one afternoon. 2 weeks later, boom, best vision of my life. If it's time for you to make the decision to check out your eyes and get the vision you deserve, call Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens at 425-451-2020. That's 425-451-2020 or online at sharp-vision.com. Sharp with an E-vision.com, official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Announcing the Million Hour Volunteer Rally. G here, join me, Safeway and Albertsons, and donate your time and skills to support local food banks and host food drives or fundraisers. You can win free groceries for a year and a $5,000 donation to your favorite hunger relief agency. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer to learn more. Find volunteer opportunities and log your hours. 1 million hours will help create food secure communities. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer.
The preseason AC sale is on now at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. This month only, keep your home cool and your wallet comfortable with 15% off. Plus, free financing on all air conditioners, heat pumps, and ductless systems. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest and call Bob's today for your free estimate. Hurry, the discount reduces to 10% off in May. Call Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Safety first comes with available financing at Bucky's Complete Auto. For oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, wiper blades, and factory maintenance, check the Bucky's near you at Bucky's.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. You've seen the headlines. Budget crisis, government emergency, billions of dollars short. No, not the federal government. It's happening here in Washington state. State tax revenues are at record highs. Over the next 4 years, tax revenue is on pace to grow by $10 billion. But current spending will outpace that revenue growth by $12 billion. Want to learn more about the growth of state taxes and spending over the last decade? Visit budgetbreakdown.org.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Guys, thinking about testosterone replacement therapy? Revive Men's Health can help you get started if you're ready to book your free T-check. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. That's Revive, REVIBE, menshealth.com.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a bunch of text messages we can get to now. Laura, why don't you start us off?
We got a lot of texts on the mental health day that Jake's kids took
Yes.
today.
Yeah, my kids had a mental health day, which I thought was making them weak. I asked the audience whether or not that made me a bad parent.
Jamie in Seattle says kids these days have less recess, less art classes, and less music classes. They don't have the fun activities they used to have at school.
You know, it is really sad when I talk to the kids about some of the stuff that they don't have that I remember having as a kid. They still get recess. That goes away, I believe, in middle school. So I think they still have recess in elementary school. Not as much as they used to get. They don't have the same, music classes anymore.
No.
They've canceled a lot of those programs.
All the
which is
extracurricular
awful.
stuff, that's the first thing that has to go when budgets are tight.
Horrible. These school districts are spending their money horribly if you don't have recess and music. Why else how do you get kids excited for school? Honestly, if they're not doing stuff in school that they're learning that's fun, they're going to learn the math
make
and
a
everything.
well-rounded young individual.
Totally.
Kids who take music do better in math.
Yeah.
It's been proven time and
100%.
time again. And you know what they do have more nowadays than they used to is time to eat. We got into it hot and heavy about how kids were getting rushed through mealtime at school, and the state is setting up to guarantee.
Some schools as few as 8 minutes for the kids to sit down and just stuff that food in their mouth and get out.
Yeah, well, the state's looking into that, make sure kids have adequate time because nutrition is an important part of
They're
learning.
only going to make it a minimum of 20 minutes or a minimum of 20 minutes, but still, to me, is is that enough time?
It might not be. It's better than 8.
Better than 8. You're right.
All right, Sarah in Arlington says, I think a mental health day is fine if that's what it actually is, because you're sad and your bro gets to stay home. Not so much.
Yeah. One of his brothers got to stay home, and so my oldest son said, "I want to stay home too." Mental health day, but
peer pressure.
I don't know if I buy it. 253 says your 4th grader's playing you. I think that's correct. 253, I think you're right.
Isabella says, I was allowed to take mental health days, but there was no TV, no games, and no going outside. The
Smart.
one activity I could do is read a book. My mom was the exact same way. And I gave up pretty quick on the faking sick thing.
Yeah, because then you're
it was
bored
so
all day.
boring.
So boring.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do is create a super boring house.
If you're really
for your kids.
sick, just lay in bed. Ugh.
Read this 2061, Spike.
Mental Health Day, we are making kids soft kids. If they're being bullied or something like that, maybe. But come on, your kid took advantage of the situation. Your wife's going to get to deal with that one. I'm not really one to talk. I was really good at faking sick. I did the thermometer up next to the light bulb move and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Remember licking the palms from Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah, you're right.
Sweaty palms.
Oh, you feel,
Oh, yeah.
Rick the Plumber says, hey, Jake, imagine having this conversation in 1945. That's pretty funny. Absolutely. All right, what else we got?
On new taxes from Democrats, Jeff in Issaquah says, did they cut spending at all?
Nope.
I thought Ferguson had some mandatory cuts to this. We'll look into this because
Ferguson said that there's going to have to be some cuts.
Some layoffs, some furloughs, a lot of different aspects.
But I don't think it's impossible for the people in the House, some Democrats, to also suggest some things that they could dial back, and I don't believe they did that.
There you go.
More of your money.
Jim in the 360 says, and I thought it was bad when Al Rossellini was governor. They called him Taxellini, and then Booth Gardner told Booth Gardner. Now we have the Washington State tax legislature.
We got to work on that.
Taxlegislature.
I think that needs to be workshopped.
Like legislature, taxlegislature. That's not too bad.
Yeah,
you get what you vote for, people, says Jim in the 360.
Let's see here. Grandpa Mike says, every time I hear people going off about taxes, I ask the same question. What government service that you personally benefit from are you willing to do without in order for the government to save tax revenue? Nobody has ever given me a straight answer, says Grandpa Mike. People always want to cut services to other people to lower their own tax bill. Glad you asked the question, Grandpa Mike. Here's what I would do. I would stop spending so much. The reason they're raising your taxes is not because they're providing so many wonderful services to you that they're running out of money. They're running out of money because they're spending it stupidly. And if they would stop spending money stupidly, they wouldn't have to raise your taxes so much. You don't have to give up any services. Just why are you $16 billion in debt? That's a question they should ask themselves and solve that problem before they ask for more of your money. Not even ask, just take more of your money.
Right. They don't ask.
They're not asking.
Every time they do ask and we vote, they ignore our vote.
Keep all your services. Just stop wasting the money. I don't know where the waste comes from, so they need to dig into this and figure out where. They don't know where it comes from. This is their problem. They made it. They should fix it.
On ideas for ending street racing, this Oregonian says, in Portland, Oregon, when they catch guys doing that, they take away their card the first time, permanently.
See? Even Oregon gets it, folks. Cletus in Federal Way says, one police officer with a can of pepper spray would end any of these intersection takeovers.
That is an image.
Wow, the cops aren't doing anything. They used to have street races in the industrial area of Kent for decades, behind warehouses, long streets, empty roads. Then the city of Kent shut it down with cameras about 5 years ago, and everything has gone crazy since.
Nice. 425 says, Jake, because I gave my suggestion. I said that I think they should slide a undercover cop into this group.
Infiltrate the
group.
Yeah.
And then start subtly suggesting other activities. And 425 says, Jake, I think they made a movie about this.
You're kidding me.
Listen, if you guys have a suggestion of a movie that they made out of this, I would love to see it, because that sounds like a really great idea for a movie. Even a series. You could probably make like 10 of those.
David 360 says, how do you solve a problem like street racing? Is that twisting about that from the Sound of Music?
That's a parody
the
song.
Sound of Racing. I like it. Yeah.
You should do that.
We'll work on this.
You should work on that.
I like that.
Or just ask AI to do it. They can have it done in 5 seconds.
I know, right?
Oh. All right, we have to go now, so I'm going to suggest one thing. One, you stick around, listen to John Curley's show, check that out. And two, Spike, I wish you and your family all the blessings of a wonderful wedding. I hope it goes great. I know it's going to go great, and I hope you enjoy every moment.
Thanks. And one of the textures that we didn't get to said, hey, even you want imperfections. Perfect weddings are boring. And
Totally
little things
agree.
come up and they make for great stories.
There you
Thanks,
go.
you guys. Thanks, everybody out there, for their wonderful advice.
All right.
Much appreciated.
We will be back tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Hi, John Curley here. It's a great time to upgrade with incredible savings on ultra-efficient heat pumps. Take advantage of local utility rebates up to $5,000 off on heat pumps. And Eastsiders save up to $6,000 with the Energy Smart Eastside program. Home Comfort Alliance is offering up to 10% off all heat pumps and air conditioning systems through April. Get both heating and cooling with an ultra-efficient heat pump in one unit. Plus, enjoy 18 months, same as cash financing. Call Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
The Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound